All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Harmon Field for the broadcast of the Dayton Christian Warriors versus the Worthington Christian Warriors. So, Tyler, tonight it is Warrior on Warrior battle. Very excited to see both these teams on the field. My name is Matt Baker. I'll be your play-by-play guy. Joining me is Tyler Hodge, as always, on the color commentary. So, Tyler, tell us a little bit about what you're expecting to see tonight.
I'm looking to see two great teams. Worthington came a long way down here to compete against a highly talented Dayton Christian Warrior team. We'll try not to get those confused throughout the night. But I'm expecting a good game. They're two different style teams. Dayton Christian, coming out, scoring quick and often, and with Worthington Christian coming out and playing very good defense. I think defense on their side of the ball is what their backbone of their team. So looking for a very good battle tonight.
Yeah, I got to talk to their coach, Chris Royal. So just explaining a little bit of the situation that went on in Worthington Christian in the spring. So he actually took over in April. He hasn't been on the job very long. This is his first year as a head coach, first year, taking over the Worthington Christian program, although he has 12 years of experience at multiple levels. Taking the job in April, he's kind of had to get to that running start. And he said it's basically a kind of a tale of two seasons. So they came out first 5 games, went 1-4, not happy about where they started. They understood it was a tough first 5 weeks, came in with 37 players, and they've kind of transitioned into the second half of the year, a couple wins to put on the record. That makes them 3-5 right now, hoping to rattle off a couple more, maybe finish out the year at 500. But he said it's unfortunate that they've lost a lot of players. They went from those 37 players to 26 players, but they feel like they're more of a cohesive team now with a couple wins and a couple of games under their belt.
Yeah, that's a hard thing to do for any level of coaching to come in a late time of the year because these coaches work all year round with their players and their teams, and be able to come in and establish maybe a new style of football, that was different from the previous coach. And to be able to start all over, I think it speaks volumes to that coach and what they've done so far this season.
Yeah, so they're independent in their league right now, but they're a part of the Central Buckeye League and every other. So similar to how Dayton Christian, yet another similarity.
Mm-hmm.
You go from Dayton Christian being the SWBL for everything but football. You've got the Central Buckeye League that hosts Worthington Christian and everything but football. So they're excited about that conference and that league. We're excited about being in the SWBL. But I asked Coach Royal, I said, your year has started. Before you came into the year, give me a couple things that you knew were going to be issues, that you knew, as you said, took over this program. What were some things that you had to make corrections to immediately? The first one he said was penalties. Last year, this team was one of the most penalized teams that he had kind of come across, and said that was the first thing we had to do. And he said that actually they've made a big change where their last game, there was just one single penalty against their offensive line. So they feel like they're getting much better in that perspective of the game. Second thing he said had to be fixed immediately was tackling, the tackling prowess. And we've actually seen that. Dayton Christian probably has wanted that to get a little better for themselves during the year.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think if we look back a couple weeks ago, hard-fought game against Waynesville, great game, but I think Coach Hurst would agree with us that the tackling wasn't on the level that him and the coaching staff would like it to be. And I hope and I think that they have worked on that. I think they've watched enough film to realize that that's something that they're going to have to shore up along with the Worthington Warriors if they want to keep this game as tight and as competitive as possible.
And I asked Coach Royal, now that the season is kind of on you, you're in week 8, give me something that's just going well right now. What's that positive? What's something that you would point back to when somebody says, what's the identity of Worthington Christian? What would you say? And he said, it's our quick game. It's getting the ball out of our hands quickly. Now, some of that is because he has some inexperience or some two-way players that maybe get a little bit tired as the game goes, like we do in many, high school football teams. But having that quick game, getting the ball out quickly. And I thought this was an interesting take on things. He said the quick game allows them to be more methodical and actually a ball control offense with the quick game, because it's 3 yards, then you reset the clock, you get the play going again, you're eating up time, you do another 3-4 yards, again, you're eating up time. So it's actually almost a ball control spread approach, which I'll be honest with you, that's something newer to me.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, you look at that offense on any other game, maybe it's a fast pace, get the call in, don't let the defense get set. But that's a sure thing, and that's a confidence thing for this team. If they come in and they hit 3 or 4 yards, that's all they need to keep the drive go all the way down the field. And that keeps the ball out of the Dayton Christian's hands tonight, who likes to score quick and often.
So I asked them, when you looked at Dayton Christian film, what's something that stood out immediately? He said front seven. Said the front seven on defense he thought was physical, and it's something where he believes that's been a little bit of a culture change. Our cameraman Bruce was just talking about that the other day, how, Coach Hurst has really started to bring a different culture, and one of the things that he's brought is just more physicality.
Yeah, we look at Dayton Christian a lot just the same way. They play a lot of both ways, but you have, I think, who is it? Is it Joe?
Jenkins?
Yeah, he plays. I think
Mr. Swiss Army knife.
Yeah, he's been from DB to linebacker to now defensive end.
Yep.
But that front seven, like you said, has improved each week. They're reading their keys better. They're attacking the ball and getting more pressure on the quarterback, which was one thing that I know Coach Hurst and the staff had emphasized, being able to get that on teams that they've played.
You are absolutely right. In fact, if I were to kind of switch over to my conversation with Coach Hurst during the week, he actually said that very thing. I think the term he used was either it's going to be a sack or it may be a 75-yard completion over their head, because they are going to bring pressure. Not because anything necessarily about Worthington. They just feel like that's the style they want to play, as they've made a transition in the defensive coordinator position during the year, which now Coach Hurst is calling the defense. He feels like more pressure gives them more opportunity to cause negative plays, which then therefore can obviously, result in potential turnovers or simply just turning over on downs.
Yeah, and it puts some confidence on your DBs. Your back four, back five, whatever you want to put back there. To have confidence in them guys to lock everybody up, because when you bring 5, 6, there's people out there on an island, and you have to make sure that those 75-yard plays don't happen.
I think at any level of football, as much as I'm an O-line, D-line guy, coached it many years, I have to admit I'm starting to buy in a little bit more to that shutdown corner, because it just gives you such an opportunity up front in those blitz packages, in the games on the defensive line that you can run, to where if you have somebody where at minimum, if you can just say, okay, this side of the field is shut down, even if the other side needs some support with the safety, if this side can be shut down, you can do a whole lot of difference. And I think that's what Coach Royal and Coach Hurst are going to try to do with them tonight, because I feel, if I were to guess, you're going to see pressure on both sides of the ball.
Well, yeah, and Worthington Christian has one of the good receivers on their team. I believe his name. What number is he? Number 15. What was his
Smolinski.
Smolinski. I'm sorry, I'll pronounce that right.
We're gonna try. We're gonna try. Yeah.
But you look at him, and he's only a sophomore, but he's their main target.
Yep.
And I think that's one of those things that you have to lock him down and just eliminate that, and that gives the coach more ability to put pressure on the quarterback, like you said.
Yeah, Coach Royal said there's no question that Smolinski is his do everything back. Also, he gave a lot of support and love towards Jacob Mercer as well, kind of that do all back as well. So when you've got two guys, we'll call them those two Swiss Army knives that you can pull in. One's more inside, one's more outside. Mercer's going to be that outside threat. Smolinski and Ortega are going to be your inside receivers. So it'll be interesting to see how Thomas Hartlings is going to handle that. Their quarterback, the 6'3" junior, is definitely the heart and soul of the offense. Coach Royal said everything's going to go through him.
I was watching him warm up. He's a lefty, but he's got a cannon on him.
Yes, he does.
He pulls that ball back, and it comes out like a bullet out of a gun.
And a great spiral. I noticed that too. I mean, he was from this sideline to midfield. It was just a dart, absolute dart. So, looking forward to seeing what he can do. And if Coach Royal says it's going to be a quick game, so then you got to imagine those are going to come out of his hand hot, ready to go. And it's going to be interesting if the receivers, on a beautiful night that it is tonight, we're expecting probably high 50s to start the game. It's probably not going to get much colder than that. So that temperature and wind, rain, all those things aren't going to be a factor in tonight's broadcast or tonight's event. Going over to the defensive side, a couple names that he mentioned. Now, one thing Coach Royal did say is that they do have numerous people going both ways. And I'll tell you what, we'll get right back to that in just a second as we stop for the national anthem. correction, the alma mater first.
Yes. We live in the greatest country in the world, with freedoms like no other. To honor America, please stand and join us in prayer, led by Pastor Bruce Horseman of Miamisburg Christian Church, and then in the playing of our national anthem.
Father, thank you for this night, for these teams that will be on the field, the coaches that will coach them, and the family and friends that will cheer them on. Keep every player safe this evening, Father God, every heart humble, and every word that is spoken to be honoring you. Let what happens on this field reflect courage, respect, and gratitude for the gifts that you've given us and the game that we get to play. In Jesus' name I pray, amen.
So a quick shout out to our director of bands. That's Cody McPherson, doing a great job getting everything kind of up and running again for Dayton Christian Schools from the band perspective. So we appreciate him. Just finishing up that comment before we switch over to the DC side. Tyler, a couple names that we're going to call it. I said, who are we going to call out for the tackles? Who are we going to have names that are going to come across the broadcast quite a few times? CJ Royal is a name that's going to be said. D lineman happens to be Coach Royal's son. He said Jacob Mercer as well. Gessler is a name we're going to say quite a bit on the defense side. And then Baylor Murray has stepped up here, especially in the latter part of the year. Switching kind of our thought processes over to the DC side. So coming in at 5-3. Using a two-quarterback system for the start of the season, a little more settled on Brody Schmidt at this point. So running some of his numbers, Brody is 65 out of 91 for 862. He has a 71% completion rate with a 13-yard average. He does have 9 touchdowns to just 3 interceptions, and his long is an 85-yard pass with a QR rating of 120. So Brody can get it done at the quarterback position. Brody can get it done at the receiver position. Brody can get it done at the cornerback position, the returning kicks position, returning punts position. I don't know. Sometimes I expect him to rip his vest or his jersey, and there's an S under his chest. So
Right.
What are we going to see from Brody Schmidt tonight?
I think you're going to see from Brody, just like you see any game that you've got him with, you're going to see his effort. You're going to see his passion. You're going to see his dedication. He's going to come out. He's going to lead this team. He does a very good job of a calming presence. And his calming presence calms everybody else down. And he does a really good job of staying poised as well.
Agreed. So he's going to hand the ball off usually to Jacob Coulter. 105 carries for 464 yards, which is a 4-yard average. Yeah, he has a long 58. So 11 touchdowns on the season, which means sometimes they may pass from 20 to 20, but every once in a while they got to get it to Jacob to make sure they can get it in the end zone.
Yeah, for sure. I think they've had a pretty good even balance. But like we said at the beginning, I think Dayton Christian, if I know Coach Hurst and Coach Blevins, they're going to get off to a quick start.
Yeah, on the defensive side of the ball, Dayton Christian's going to bring Caden Shepard, the captain, on both sides. The guy that's going to be at the wide receiver position, he's going to be in the safety position with 66 total tackles. He's got 8 tackles for losses on the year, doing a great job, is the senior Caden Shepard. You're also going to hear the name Eli Queen said quite a bit, 73 total tackles, 8 also tackles for loss. So we're excited to see what they can do on the defensive side. And we're about ready to start play as Dayton Christian brings Stowers onto the field in order to do the kickoffs as they've transitioned from Newton to Stowers. Stowers starting the second half of the year because of a medical injury and is able to start playing now. He'll have kickoff duties here to get this game started. So Dayton Christian won the toss. They're going to defer to the second half. That brings the Warriors of Worthington Christian onto the field. Looks back there. We're going to try to get some numbers, although
A little scrunched up.
Yeah, 15 is going to be Smolinski, I believe. Yep, Jack Smolinski is back in the kickoff return. There we go. Big return so far off is Smolinski. He's pushed out of bounds at the 47-yard line, so an excellent return. Good field position to start for WC.
Yeah, Stowers, it's never a good sign with your kicker getting him out of bounds that far down the field. Let's see if Dayton Christian get the jitters out and settle in.
So we'll see as they set the defense up. Again, it'll be interesting to see what Coach Hurst brings on a defensive front here. As Coach Royal said, that's an area that's maybe a little bit of concern. They do recognize that Dayton Christian has a little speed, brings a lot of energy from that front seven. So we'll see what they're able to do against that. So quarterback is set. Moves over his H-back, which is Mercer, to the right side from the shotgun. The snap, the left-hander throws outside to Smolinski. Nice play by 21, Chris Hodges. So actually in the hands and then out of the hands of Smolinski.
Yeah, I think they seen something maybe in film, but Hodges stepped up there. Good, turned into the defender there. And I think we've got a little taste of what tonight's going to be like. So I think Coach Hurst just wants some more pressure on that QB.
We appreciate the fact that it's something that they wanted to try right off the bat. That's good coaching to prepare for that start of the game. So, again, that's Hardings, the snap, the lefty. Oh, with it up, batted up in the air. So a nice play by number 5. That's Caden Shepard. We talked a little bit about how he has the 8 tackles for losses, but he's also to get in the backfield on the safety blitz. Not something you see a lot.
Well, that's what I was getting ready to say. Coach Hurst has got the linebackers and DB showing blitz, coming and going. I think he's gotten the quarterback confused. Not a lot of high school teams do that.
That
drop
sugar
out, and drop back.
Yeah.
So I think that's something that Dayton Christian is going to have to keep up.
Again, pressure was the name of the game as they talked about it through the week with Coach Hurst. Hardings, the snap, 3rd down and 10, a lot of pressure. Looks like Mercer wasn't exactly sure what was going to go on that play. He didn't turn around for the ball, and that's going to be 4th down, and it looks like the Warriors of Dub C are going to punt.
Yeah, I think that, like you said, miscommunication there. I think it's just given Dayton Christian a little bit of what they are. I don't think Worthington was as prepared for the pressure that Dayton Christian has applied already so far.
That was a note by Coach Hurst that probably the Worthington Christian staff hasn't seen the amount of pressure that was planned, especially in this first series. Seems like it came to fruition there. Coach Hurst's thoughts coming through with a quick 3 and out. A nice punt. That's out of bounds. It's still going to get down to about the 20-yard line. So that's Hardings is actually punting as well. There was a little injury to their regular place kicker and field goal kicker, so Hardings has had to step up in the punting duty. So as this is the 8th game of the season for Dayton Christian and for Worthington Christian, right now that 5-3 record, the 3 losses were to Miami East, Waynesville, and Cincinnati College Prep Academy. The wins were Gamble Montessori last week, New Miami, Madison Local, Miami Valley Christian Academy, and Bethel Tate, who's actually run off a couple wins since having that loss to Dayton Christian. So as we see Dayton Christian setting up, it's going to be a 2-by-2, 2 receivers to the right, 2 receivers to the left. The single back to the left of the quarterback, which is Brody Schmidt. He'll get the snap. This time it goes to 12. That's Queen, and he's met immediately by the linebacker.
Number 54, I believe. Is that a number we got up there?
Yeah, that's Gessler.
Gessler.
Yeah.
He filled that thing and met. I think it was a Cutler back there.
No, I think that was Queen, actually. I think it was number 12, but now Jacob Coulter's
That's
in there.
Right, yeah. Queen. He met him downhill.
Looks like a heavy box for Worthington Christian right now, trying to stop the run. And that goes, down on the ground goes the ball. I don't think they're going to call that a completed pass. They're going to wave that out as incomplete because he did not make a football move once he had the ball in his hands.
Yeah, Hartman there, I think what he did, he took his eye off the ball because he seen that safety come in there, which is any receiver has that tendency to do that. But good play there, getting the quick pop. We'll see if they go back.
Yeah, lots of energy. You can tell already from the defensive side. You called that early that may be the strength right now of this Warriors team for Worthington Christian. The snap by Brody Schmidt just outside of the reach of Caden Shepard. So unfortunately, that's going to be a 3-and-out on the side of the Dayton Christian Warriors. And with 11:04 left, 0-0 is your score. 1 offensive series apiece. Up for a punt now is the Dayton Christian Warriors.
Yeah, and we're only 56 seconds off the clock with 2 series. I think, like I said, defense might be the tail of the tape tonight.
So it's one of those games where, Ma, Pa, be ready for a late night. Because
exactly.
if we're going to do this the whole night, it's going to take a while.
Yeah,
so
we might be here for a minute.
Looks like Dayton Christian gets the punt off. It's going to get down to about the 40, dropping and rolling. Staying out of the way is Hodges Jr. That gets down to the 30-yard line. So basically from 25 to 30, that's going to bring Dayton Christian's defense and the offense of Worthington Christian back on the field. So 1 for 1. What are you seeing so far, Tyler?
I'm seeing a lot of pressure from both sides of the defenses. I'm seeing the offenses. I'm not saying they're not fully prepared for it. I think there's a lot of jitters, which is like with any game. But I think now, just like we look at the college level, sometimes it takes a series for the teams to get underneath themselves to be able to focus up and see what the game's really going to bring.
On defense, Asa Crockett making an appearance there on the right defensive end for Dayton Christian. The snaps. A little bit of jumble on the handoff, but he's able to get good yardage and actually rolls forward for a first down run on first down.
Number 27.
27 for them would be, actually, we don't have that. Oh, yeah, we do. Sorry, that's Shaden Testa.
5'9" junior there. Good run. Good enough for a first down.
Yeah, Worthington Christian with a nice run on the first play of this series, coming back in the spread look. That's 3 to the right. Then 1 will come over here. So now it's a 2-by-2 look. 1 running back to the left of the left-hander. That's Harting's. Snap. A hard snap. Now it goes outside to Mercer. Mercer's brought down, but after a 6-yard gain. So that outside receiving threat, as Coach Royal said, is able to deliver on a 6-yard pass.
Yeah, good play there from Worthington Christian. One thing I'm gonna, throw out there to keep an eye on is that play there. The corner came down on that flat route. Looks like a cover 2 type defense. Safety has to get over top. The guy was wide open running down the middle of the field. So Dayton Christian, I think Coach Hurst is going to know that and catch on to that.
So got away with one there, did Dayton Christian. So it looks like, again, a 3-by-1 set for Worthington Christian. The snap, this time he rolls out to the left. Heavy pressure on him. Mercer again with the pass, and the first down reception will bring it down to the 47. So they'll move the chains.
Yeah, good rollout. I don't know if we'll see a lot of him rolling out to his right, but rolling out to the left may be his thing. But that was a good, crisp pass. I mean, like I said, on a line.
And then naturally, defenses are set for right-handed quarterbacks.
Oh, yeah.
They are. I mean, whether you ever mention it or say it, it is. That's just the way it is. And it's going to be interesting to see how Dayton Christian can react to a left-hander. So, again, the southpaw with the 3 receivers to his right, single receiver to the left, the snap, lots of pressure again. Mercer misses that one this time out of through his hands, so it's going to be 2nd down and 10. The ball is still at about the 47-yard line, left hash, and 0-0 is your score as it's 9:07 left just in the first quarter as the sun starts to set, a beautiful sky. And I know everyone listening will appreciate that God has created, right?
Yes. There for Harding's there, being as tall as he is, when you dip your shoulder that tall, that's why the ball's going to sail. He has to stay down on that throw and complete those tonight.
Yeah, he's listed at 6'3", and every bit of it from up
yeah.
here, no question. The fake, this time he's taken down by Caden Shepard all the way back at the 40-yard line. That is going to be probably a 13 to 14-yard sack behind the line of scrimmage. Great.
Oh, yeah. Caden Shepard coming off there with that safety blitz again, like you were talking about.
Yeah.
He came off. That's not a lot of things you don't see from the high school level. But Coach Hurst dialing it up there. Great time. Now we got 3rd and
third and a whole bunch, we'll
Yeah.
say. So as the Worthington Christian Warriors set back up, 2 receivers to the left, a receiver and an H-back to the right. A little more protection that time. Snap, the lefty. Oh, the screen, but it's off of the lineman that got in front of it. That's 74. So it looks like McLaughlin was hitting the back with the ball. That was actually a great play call.
Oh, yeah. If he'd have caught it, there was nothing but green grass and one purple jersey in front of him.
Yeah, anytime, most coaches would tell you that anytime that you get this kind of unrelenting pressure, you stop that with draws and screens.
But one of the things that I heard from the Dayton Christian sideline, either it was the players or the coaches, they were yelling screen, screen, screen. So I think that comes in with the scouting and great preparation.
Looks like this one is going to bounce back towards and smartly. A Worthington Christian player is able to stop that ball from returning. It'll be resting at about the 28-yard line of Dayton Christian. That'll be a left-hand hash look as well. So we appreciate everybody joining us. There is a number that you can text in, 513-655-7438. We'll even put that in the chat, 513-655-7438. Let us know where you're watching from. We would love to know that information. We've gotten, let's see,
coast to coast.
Coast to coast. We have been. We've been Chicago. We've been, I believe, Connecticut. We went to Los Angeles. I mean, it's been a pleasure so far. 3 receivers to the right for Dayton Christian, 1 receiver to the left. The snap, it goes inside to Braden Biffle. He makes one man miss. Breaks that tackle and gets down to the 45-yard line. Very successful play on first down.
This is one thing, with Worthington, they're showing pressure. They're getting a lot of penetration on the quarterback. The DBs are giving us 6 to 7 yard cushion, and it might just be the bread and butter tonight, same way Worthington is for Dayton Christian. Just take those pops and let it go.
Yeah, what's interesting as we set up here 2 by 2, Brody Schmidt getting his call on the snap. Quickly, the ball out of his hand. Good catch, but it looks like it's going to come loose from Caden Shepard's hands. I think that quick game is actually something that both sides want to see.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, this is when you face a defense like Worthington Christians and like Dayton Christians where the front sevens are the main part of that.
That's their heart.
Yeah, you got to get it out quick, under 2 seconds from the quarterback to the receiver to get it out of his hand.
And I actually think that's what the success of the Cincinnati Bengals was last night. I mean, Joe Flacco was keeping that ball for maybe a second. Here we go, 3 receivers to the right. It is 2nd down and 10 as Dayton Christian tries to get a drive going. The fake to Coulter. Again, trying to go to Shepard. That ball hangs up in the air just a little bit, and that's going to fall down incomplete. It'll be 3rd and 10.
One thing Brody Schmidt's got to watch here, if they keep doing that, somebody's going to jump it eventually.
Yep.
They're going to sit a linebacker right underneath him. He's got to be able to come to another side and trust some other receivers. I know Caden Shepard is his go-to guy, but he's got a lot of tools out here.
And is that a setup also for either like a slant and go or a comeback and go,
something like that?
It seems like they're jumping that route pretty quick. A little pressure coming off the defensive right side, but Brody Schmidt's going to go. Yes, Asa Crockett, a sure-handed number 18, is able to get the ball and go out of bounds. He's going to get a first down, so that's going to set the chains up, and we're going to be at the 42-yard line of Worthington Christian.
It's like the coaches are listening to us. You know, they can hear us from the sideline.
Well, I mean, the room is to the right. Yeah.
I mean, heck, we don't get paid for nothing.
Yeah, so 3 receivers to your left, which is at the top of your screen. We're moving left to right on that TV. Thank you for joining us, all those that have tuned in on the YouTube channel. Brody Schmidt calling out his cadence, the snap. Protection's pretty good. Oh, just out of the reach of the hands of, is that number? Asa again. So it's Asa Crockett. So good effort, but off his fingertips makes it 2nd and 10.
You know, they're going after that sophomore Reynolds there, and he's doing a pretty good job. I mean, he's lined up against Asa Crockett, who's listed at 6'3", but probably is sitting at 6'4".
Oh, yeah.
And he's doing a pretty good job locking him up there and playing good defense.
Worthington Christian defense stepping up so far. This time back on the tunnel screen, a little out of the hands. Brody Schmidt mad at himself as he smacks his hands together. He knows he missed one there.
Yeah, I think that was there for a few more yards. But you got to be able to make sure you hit your receiver on line on those. You don't want to lead them too far because you're going right into the middle of the field. And that's just something that comes with experience and plays and just being able to do that.
Yeah, just more repetition. And, you know, as they went back and forth for just a little bit, now it seems like they've settled on Brody Schmidt as the guy. It's going to give him more reps. This time he shuffles a little bit, fakes one way. He's going to go back the other, tries to get rid of it. He's able to escape pressure. The long pass to Shepard. Oh, no. It's going to be intercepted by Worthington Christian. It's going to head the other way. So, you know, Brody Schmidt is kind of a, you know, all or nothing sort of guy. That time he let it fly, put it into the back almost to the 5-yard line, and then unfortunately a tip ball goes right to Worthington Christian.
Yeah, great effort by Brody Schmidt. You know, that's one of those things that, he's just got to continue doing, when he throws it up there, he's hungry for the play, but also at the same time, just knowing when to let it go or to throw it away and live for another down.
Yeah, and that's exactly it. You hear it on the broadcast all the time at the NFL level or the, college level. You got to live to fight another day, and that would have been one to go for Brody Schmidt. So Worthington Christian deep in their red zone. Brought down immediately after just a couple yard gain, even just a yard game. It's going to be 2nd and 9 as the run game so far for both teams has not been established just yet.
Yeah, it looked like Stowers on the tackle there coming off the edge.
So that's Shaden Testa. And I'll be honest, that's not a name that Coach had given me before. So maybe Testa getting some opportunities here this evening. Worthington Christian, 3 receivers to the right, single receiver to the left. The lefty outside of the hands. That's going to be an interception going the other way. Dayton Christian with a phenomenal play by Braylon Biffle. He gets the tip, and now they're in business.
They're in business. They're in the red zone. Good tip drill. That's why you run that in practice, having that always up and having your eyes up to be able to grab those.
Isn't that true, though? I mean, I've coached many years, you played many years, and that tip drill always comes up, it seems, every single game.
Yeah, in practice you seem like why are we doing this? This is common sense, but you don't practice it like that. And if you don't practice it, then it doesn't really happen.
Here we go with Brody Schmidt. New life back into the offense for Dayton Christian. The snap, he rolls to the left. This time he's going to just keep it, make one man miss, but he is brought down pretty quickly as they are 1st and goal, and it's going to be 2nd and goal from about the 8-yard line.
Yeah, I noticed one thing there from Worthington's defense. Man, they pursue and get down the line quick. It just looked like a white wave going across there, and I think Brody was just like, oh, my Lord, good effort, but that white wave hit him.
So here we go. Worthington Christian Warriors, the Dayton Christian Warriors, battle of the Warriors here, as I believe they're going to go ahead and let it's at 6 minutes, 5:58 now, as they set up right side as 3 receivers. Single receiver, that's Caden Shepard to the left. Brody Schmidt with the snap, the fake, the pop. It goes into Hartman. Touchdown, Dayton Christian.
Good ball, good catch, just like they wrote it up. good opportunity to capitalize on the turnover there by Worthington.
So Cam Hartman with a kind of a fingertips catch, really. I mean, there was a little zip on that ball.
Brody put it the only place where he could catch it.
Yeah, which
that's
was
a
high.
lot of things
Yeah.
that a lot of coaches teach their quarterbacks. That's that chemistry that you got to have with your receivers.
So as Newton comes in for the extra point attempt, Hartman with the hold, the snap, it's through.
Good.
Looks good. So that's going to be a 7-0 lead for Dayton Christian with 5:47 left. Again, shout out to our director of bands, Cody McPherson. It is awesome to hear a live band back at the games. That's pretty exciting.
Oh, yeah. There's nothing like that, When you score, you hear your fight song, you hear something, it just gets you pumped up. I remember when I was in school, the third, fourth quarter, they take the trumpet class or whatever you want to call them. They take all the people playing the trumpets, and they would play all around, and it was just one of those things that makes Friday night special.
We got Chicago checking in. We love watching Dayton Christian football. Goal number 8 is Braylon Biffle. Absolutely. Lots of love from Chicago. Gallipolis, Ohio. Thanks for broadcasting. Go Eli Queen, our friends from Gallipolis, and also a little mom of Worthington Christian player watching from, I believe, South Carolina. How about that? Thanks for streaming. So check in with us if you would, please. Let's see, Colton Stowers' grandparents watching from Cleveland, Tennessee. Awesome. So 513-655-7438. We appreciate those that have joined us so far to see a pretty exciting exchange of offensive firepower here as Stowers with the kickoff, a nice kind of high kick. It's end over end, the pickup, and a nice little hesitation by Smolinski. But he is stopped. Not a return like he had the first time there on the 25-yard line. So Dayton Christian will start their defensive front.
That might have been number 10 Mercer that might have caught that one.
Gotcha.
I think. Yeah, I think they moved Mercer back there and took Zalimski or sorry for the family.
Smolinski. Yeah, we're doing the best.
Yeah,
but Smolinski. Coach was awesome. Coach Royal did a great job. Just really took some time this afternoon with me and was able to just share the thoughts. Seems like a guy that just absolutely loves his kids. Got a couple funny things to share, some thoughts as the game goes on, but I appreciate his time, Coach Royal's time earlier today. So the snap, lots of pressure, the run outside, a missed tackle is going to make this a big long run. It's going to be a first down run on first down. So excellent job by Worthington Christian.
Number 33.
33 for Worthington is actually Bailey Murray. So that was a switch, even though it's Bailey Murray, 33. So that was a switch because they lost a jersey during the year. So
okay.
33 is Bailey Murray. To the right, 3 receivers. To the left, 1 receiver. Hardings calls his snap. The lefty throws a nice pass. Smolinski in stride. Oh, is able to stop 3 tacklers from bringing him down, and he's going to go to the house for the touchdown, Worthington Christian.
One thing we talked about pregame, making sure tackles, wrapping up, and just letting your team come to you to help you out. Don't look for the blockbuster, take him off his feet, hit, just wrap him up, live to fight another down.
Yeah, even if you're drug with on ankles, it doesn't matter because, like you said, the cavalry will arrive soon. So as much as Dayton Christian took the lead, they give it right back to the Worthington Christian Warriors. I'm sorry, at least right now a 7-6 lead for Dayton Christian. We'll see if the extra point goes through. The snap is up, and it's good. So now we're tied 7-7. The kicker for our friends there at Worthington is Blake Miller, so number 45, a junior. And Coach said soccer player, actually maybe one of their better soccer players, good experience, was willing to come out and kick. Maybe even has some inclinations to kick at the collegiate level. So excited to see
I was watching him warm up for pregame, and he was kicking them from the 30 fairly comfortable. That's a 45, 46-yard field goal.
Yep.
There's not many college kickers that can make that.
And Coach actually said that very thing. 25 to 30 in, he felt real confident to put the game on the back of his kicker, and that's Miller. So again, there's that seesaw. It's kind of that slug fest. We talked about that could be the type of game this is. You got two offensive teams that are offensive minded here. You know, if you go down the scores, 28 points, 35 points, 39 points, 35 points, 47 points are all the Dayton Christian wins. So it's something they like to do, they know to do, but is Worthington Christian able to keep up, or is Dayton Christian able to keep up if Worthington Christian can score that quickly?
Yeah, it's something we're going to have to pay attention to and see who gets the first and most important stop. And
the kick, a booming kick. He takes it all the way down to the 5-yard line.
Is that Brody?
That is Brody. He finds an opening. One man brings him down at the 35-yard line. There's going to be a flag. They're going to call holding. It looks like he's actually calling holding and pointing towards Worthington Christian. So it's a little different. We'll see if they have a little explanation for us as the teams reset. Offense is going to come out for Dayton Christian, defense for Worthington Christian, as it's a 7-7 tie with 4:49 left just in the first quarter. It's a lot of action so far that we've seen, and exciting information to share with you here, as Coach Royal was able to take a little time with us earlier today and just ask him about what was some of the heart and soul of this team. He said, a lot of it goes through some of these guys that have been playing, even as the transition of coaches has happened, and kind of stayed with it to build that culture. Hardings is definitely at the top of the list, his quarterback, which he puts the offensive team on his back on a regular basis. So as Worthington Christian sets back up, Brody Schmidt brings his offense 2-by-2. One man brings down Caden Shepard on that outside, so the ball stays in play as the clock keeps running. It's going to be about a 5-yard gain on first down.
Yeah, good tackle there. I think it's number 17. Is that correct? I think from what I could see, 17 out there making a good sure tackle and not letting him up.
That's Steyer for Worthington Christian. Again, the snap. Outside, tries to go Braden Biffle, but brought down on the play, number 75 with a nice tackle.
Asher Gilbert.
Yeah, and that's another name that Coach said we're going to be calling his name quite a bit. 75 Asher Gilbert, a two-way starter at the tackle position and the defensive line position.
He had good movement getting down the line and shedding off those blocks. And I think Braden Biffle got his feet caught up there, and maybe it would have come around a little further.
2-by-2, starting from the right hash. Brody Schmidt, hands ready. First snap, tries to bait the Worthington Christian Warriors to jump off sides. They don't fall for it. So as they reset the play, the snap immediately goes outside to Asa Crockett. He's trying to get to break loose just a little bit. It does seem like he got enough for the first down.
Yeah, good pitch and catch there. Even if he was a couple yards short, I think Asa could have reached out and he still would have made it. But good pitch and catch there, and they audibled out of that, and I think that's a good to see that happen.
You mentioned it before that the quick game and maybe take what the defense is giving you if they're going to give you 5 or 6 yards. Now he's going over top of him. Oh, just out of the reach of his hands. Stride for stride was number 5, Jordan Williams, the senior DB. Asa Crockett, looked over his shoulder and just right through the wickets.
Yeah, just you have those every now and then. Good ball by Brody Schmidt. Put it on the outside so the DB couldn't get to it. Just, we're all human. We all make mistakes.
Absolutely.
And I think Asa Crockett will make it up here before the night's over.
So here we go. The snap. Schmidt, he fakes the throw. Nice little run there. That's going to be about almost 9 yards, so 8 yards for sure. It's going to leave him a 3rd and 2.
Good quarterback power there. We talk about Brody Schmidt going a lot of ways. He's kind of the Swiss Army knife for this team. I'll be honest with you. He's shown his toughness in the last few weeks. He's taken a beating, not by anybody's mistakes, just by the player that he is.
So let's see what the defense has in store for Dayton Christian as 3rd and 1. They need a yard. feels like they're going to be able to push that pile forward, and they're going to at least get the first down and maybe a couple yards afterwards. So they'll reset the chains at the 44-yard line. We're going left to right on your TV screen. We appreciate those. Again, checking in from South Carolina, Spartanburg, visiting family. We love that. Watching from Greenville, South Carolina, this is Bailey Murray's grandparents. So welcome to the broadcast there. And those of you that are tuning in, feel free to send this out and share it. We want to make sure these young men get promoted as best possible. And most of all, people can see the talent that God has given them. So Asa Crockett, it's off his hands. It's going to be dropped at the 40-yard line. That was another tunnel screen, looking for him to take an inside route.
Yeah, I was noticing this, and this is on Worthington Christian. They do a lot what we call gang tackling. They swarm to the ball. I've noticed that their front seven, they all get to the ball. At one point in time, they all do. And that's something that you teach, but that's something that people have to buy into to be able to have that dedication and passion to continue on.
I'll share after this play here, and we'll talk just a second about what the coach wants to bring for that. A nice pass wide open to Biffle over the top of the defender. He's going to go all the way down to the 20-yard line, reaching back almost on the head of the defender's Braylon Biffle for the first down catch. Now we're inside the red zone.
He's come to play tonight. He's already got one interception. He's got a couple good runs, and that what was that, about a 45-yard pass to completion?
Back to the line immediately is Dayton Christian, and the coach said it's about grit. When Coach Royal and I talked, he said it's about grit, and I think what we've seen, that gang tackling, is a definition of that grit.
Oh, absolutely.
Worthington Christian with the defense set. Dayton Christian, 3 to the right. Biffle, again to him. He tries to split a defender, but a good tackle on the play. Number 1, that's Hartings, and that's your quarterback playing defensive back as well.
Yeah. I think they just brought him in about a couple plays ago. Maybe that's part of that, Coach Royal seeing that they're hitting a lot of quick outs. You got Asa Crockett, you got Caden Shepard, who are taller, maybe getting that help from that 6'3", 6'4" quarterback back there.
One of our friends that's checking in is actually number 15's mom.
There you go.
There you go. So she's excited to see some good receptions from number 15 as well. And let's see what he can do on defense for Worthington Christian. As Brody Schmidt steps back, Asa Crockett, one step, keeps the ball into his hands, almost loses it for a second there. He's going to go down at the 4-yard line. And I tell you, you mentioned this before, Tyler. I don't know that you can definitely tell this from the camera angle. Asa's a big boy.
Oh, yeah.
He's a big boy.
He had a box out there. And one thing I think that the coach Blevins may get with him on that play, tuck the ball away.
Yeah,
he had that in one hand, and I'm like, ooh.
I think he thought he was a little closer to the
across,
goal line. Yeah. But, I mean, with his pads on and the cleats, he fills out down there.
All he's got to do is box him out.
Yeah. The snap. Coulter with the fake, and Brody Schmidt trying to find an edge. He can't get – actually, they're going to give him a touchdown. So he just barely gets the ball across the goal line. It's going to be a second touchdown for the Dayton Christian Warriors. Coming up a little gimpy is number 51, that's Spangler. And let me tell you what, I have to take this moment since we mentioned him. What a great young man Dylan Spangler is. I mean, I have had 3 opportunities in the last 3 weeks of people to just tell me these really nice stories about that young man and how his faith is lived out outside of the classroom, outside of the school. And I'm telling you, that just gets me fired up and excited when you've got a young sophomore like that that's willing to put his faith on his sleeve in front of everybody else. It gets me pretty excited.
Game. Yeah, and absolutely, talking about that's, out of all the football games, out of all the trophies, out of all the awards that you get, most importantly is seeing these kids live their faith out.
Amen.
And, because these games will come and go.
That's right.
But your faith, if it's true to who you are, will stay there permanently if you allow it to.
So because of the offside penalty, Dayton Christian has decided to put their offense back on the field. When they go for 2, you're allowed to call what side you want to go from. If you want to go from the right hash, the center, or the left hash. They've chosen the right hash because if you've heard this broadcast before, we know every offensive coordinator has a couple 2-point plays just ready to go in their back pocket. 19 seconds left as this is an untimed down. Is going to be 13-7 is your current score. Going for 2 is Dayton Christian. The snap, Brody Schmidt up and through the line. That's going to be an extra point conversion for 2. So we're going to make it 15-7 Dayton Christian.
Yeah, I think that's one of those confidence boosters when you can take advantage of a mistake that your opponent makes and be able to capitalize on it is one of those things that will take a team further and further and further as the season continues.
Right. And not hitting pay dirt there, like you said, is big.
Right.
You didn't just get the penalty and then you fail. You got the penalty and you made it hurt with an extra point.
Oh, yeah, for sure. If they were to happen to not get that 2-point conversion and something was, all Worthington would have to do is score a touchdown, kick an extra point, if it was later in the game, obviously, and those sorts of things. So it is a risk, but it paid off there.
And back to that comment I said about Coach Royal and saying grit.
Mm-hmm.
He said he wants that to be this team's calling card. When you think of Worthington Christian, you want to think of a gritty bunch. And grit actually stands for, it's kind of an acronym for multiple words there. And I'll be honest, I don't remember exactly what it stands for, but it's definitely to glorify God through just action and behavior and effort. And I appreciate that. I'm sure we all do from Coach Royal. And back is number 2. That's going to be Gabe Long, the senior, right in his breadbasket. He's able to start this run. He gets hit hard and brought down at the 27-yard line.
By tackle, who was he tackled by there? See if we can tell.
Looks like that was Jack Orth, I believe.
Number 58.
No, it's our 58 is Weldon.
Weldon.
Yep.
Good collision there.
James Weldon.
Now let's see what Worthington has come up with. They've had some time to sit on the sideline. They've had some time to regroup. Not a bad thing, but let's see what I'm curious to see what they're going to throw at it.
Off to the right goes 3 receivers. To the left is a tight end and a receiver. 1 running back to the left of the quarterback. He's going to get the call, and he's going to be met immediately in the backfield. It's going to be a tackle for loss.
74.
That's Williams, Nate Williams, with a nice play behind the line of scrimmage. In fact, that's going to be a 5-yard, almost 5-yard loss there for Dayton Christian. As they end the first quarter, we're excited to share with you some information that we're just really excited about. If you are a Dayton Christian Warrior family, just decide and pray with us about supporting the multi-purpose center. We're calling it the MPC for now. We are heavy into that build and very excited about it. The floor is poured. In fact, you can go on my Instagram if you would like and look at the latest video. I did an update today, so the entire floor is poured. I'm excited about that, but we are about $500,000 short right now to be fully funded. We've had a great response from our community and even some of those outside of our community, but we still need about $500,000 to finish that up. We had to take a few items out. We want to be able to put those back in and really be able to show off what God has done with the growth here at Dayton Christian. So if you are interested in doing that, we're going to, have some a donor breakfast coming up here on October 28th. I'd love to have you come by. It's going to be right around the corner in Austin's Landing, but you can email me at mbaker@daytonchristian.com. Again, mbaker@daytonchristian.com. How many zeros should I expect in your check, Tyler?
My treasures aren't stored.
That's so true.
Yeah,
that's so true. So you can't take a withdrawal from your heavenly treasures. Okay.
I'm just gonna be on my knees praying.
That's right, and I'll take some of that too. So as Dayton Christian sets up, the defense have poured on pressure the whole time. This time outside, it's going to be out of the range also of the receiver. That was Smolinski. With a few steps on the defender, it just sailed over his head. A little bit too much on that one.
Braden Biffle may have gotten caught watching the backfield, and normally when you do that, but like I said, put a little touch on it. I think they may come back to that, and I think that's something that Coach Hurst is going to have to adjust.
Yeah, Coach Royal, again, one of the fastest compliments he gave was to number 15, said he's just a guy that they've counted on year. He's doing a great job, great attitude in the process. Looking to see if he'll come back, like you said, to that play and see if he can hit pay dirt next time. So 3 receivers to the right, single receiver to the left. The snap This time it goes out to Mercer. Mercer finds his opening with good blocking in front of him. Now he's off to the races. One man to beat, and that's Brody Schmidt. Brody Schmidt's able to hold on to an ankle, like we said, and bring him down at the 25-yard line.
Yeah, that's that screen that they had been setting up a couple of times. One got batted down. One got, I think, thrown a little short. But, man, Mercer ran with a purpose there. He wasn't getting stopped, and Dayton Christian just, he hit gear 4 and took off, but good tackle down the field by Brody Schmidt.
It felt like on that is he didn't turn up field before he secured the ball.
Right, yeah.
Once he got his hands on the ball, then he turned up and then took off. And I think that's so important on those tunnel screens to make sure you're not thinking turn up field first. So Worthington Christian, little momentum going left to right on your TV screen there. That's Murray. He's brought down with only about a yard maybe or so gain.
Number 58.
That's Weldon again. That's able to bring him down. Also helping out was Chase Cook, number 50 on that one. So with just a couple yards of gain there, it's going to be 2nd and 8 as they're moving up to the 24-yard line this time. Worthington Christian, 2 receivers to the right, 2 receivers to the left. Single running back to the right. Hardings gets the snap. Going long across the middle. And again, another step on the defender that time. And that was Brody Schmidt. I believe I'm going to guess, without being able to see it from
15.
here. Yeah, that's Smolinski. We know who they want to go after. So Smolinski's speed seems like it's going to be a thorn in the side of the defense for Dayton Christian.
Yeah, and that's one of those things. If I think they're going to pull Hardings off just a little bit of touch, and he would have had him if he just put a little arc on it.
Yeah, I think that's probably a conversation as we see a timeout here that they're going to have to talk at halftime and say, look, we know you don't want to get intercepted. We understand that, but go ahead and put a little bit more arc on it so we can make sure and have that receiver run right underneath it. And Smolinski's actually had a step on 2 different defenders, one Braylon Biffle and the other one Brody Schmidt. So we'll see again if they're coming back to that here in just a minute. So we appreciate all of you that have joined in. 513-655-7438. Again, stay tuned for the question of the game. We'll bring that in the third quarter where you can respond to that. But before we get there, let's make sure that we let us know where you're watching from. So we'd like to hear if you're watching from, right around in this area. If you're watching from another state, we'll take that too. Let us know what's exciting. Maybe send a shout out to somebody. We haven't done that in a while. So if there's a shout out you'd like to send, we'll give it to them on air. Make sure that they know that you appreciate them and their witness. Maybe it's a coach, maybe it's a player, maybe it's somebody that your great grandmother that was a wonderful prayer warrior over the years. So feel free to send that in 513-655-7438. Again, it looks like Colton Stower's other set of grandparents watching from Indiana. So there you go. So a lot of stuff. Colton Stower's fans.
Did we have somebody from Alaska a couple weeks ago?
I think so, yeah.
I wanted to say, I don't remember if it was the opponent family or if it was one of
motion. That's honestly the first motion I've seen, I think, from either team at this point. So that was number 4 for Worthington. Yep, that's Ortega. Another gentleman that was mentioned said that, once he gets the ball, he definitely has the ability to make some people miss. They put him in motion from left to right, but because it's 4th down, we'll see. It looks like I would assume they're going to punt here, although they are at the 24. Yeah, no, you're right. They are going to kick. So Miller, coach is kind of putting his money where his mouth is, and that is he said about from the 25 in, he felt nothing but confidence that Miller's able to do that, wants to kick at the collegiate level. So if Worthington Christian can give him the protection, Hardings is a hold, the snap, end over end.
Good.
And it's good. Wow, that's phenomenal. So from the 27-yard line, let's see, that would give it 34-44. Wow. That is an impressive kick for that young man. I would say that's probably one of the longer kicks I've seen live at a high school football game. So congratulations to Mr. Miller, and maybe that's why he's talking about kicking in college.
There you go, yeah. I remember when I was in high school, I played against Drew Basil, a former Ohio State kicker, went to Chillicothe. You talk about a kid that he punted above the lights, and you just sat there and let it hit the ground. Just like that. That's what it reminded me of, just to have the ball come off the foot like that.
We had a young man when I was coaching at Reading. His name was James Connor, and he could absolutely boot that ball. And I mean, every single kickoff that I can remember was a touchback, and honestly, not even close. So that's such a weapon in the kicking game. So wouldn't you know, even though they weren't able to hit pay dirt on the touchdown, they were able to get 3 points, making it 15-10 with 10:32 left in the second quarter. Tyler, I don't think I'm getting home in time to get a pizza from Casano's, which I love to do. So I think we're gonna have to run the ball here, ladies and gentlemen, a little bit. So we appreciate this air raid attack, but these broadcasters are hungry, so we'll see.
Maybe we can get a Chick-fil-A sandwich.
Oh, that would be nice. Yeah. Here we go with the kickoff. Miller again, a nice boot into the hands.
That Hodges.
Hodges, okay. Brings the ball down at the 27-yard line. So Dayton Christian is going to take over at the 27. So at this point, how much is time clock management just as important as the eventual score you hope to get?
I think Dayton Christian, I believe, gets the ball at half, right?
They do.
Because Worthington, I think Dayton Christian, I think they keep the pedal on the gas because we see Worthington can score quick, just like Dayton Christian. You could have a couple plays here or there, not work out, and then all of a sudden, boom, just like we've seen a couple of the overthrows by Worthington that could be a touchdown with just a quick glance.
This time, I believe that's the first run, maybe for Coulter of the game, maybe first or second, but not able to get much heavy trudging there. So it's going to be 2nd and 8. Another check-in, Logan Thompson. Grandparents are watching from Delaware, Ohio, so we appreciate you guys checking in and supporting the grandson there. So we appreciate all those of you that are checking in, and we appreciate the opportunity to broadcast and show the talents of these fine young men here from both Worthington and Dayton Christian. Dayton Christian on offense with a 5-point lead, 3 receivers to the left, single receiver to the right. Looks like a little pressure coming from Worthington. Call to run. Ooh, Brody Schmidt taken down hard, but he pops back up and wants about a 5 or 6 yard gain on that. So it's going to be 3rd and a manageable 3.
Yeah, I think that's one of them hits to the legs that you always cringe.
Mm-hmm.
I think, I think Worthington's starting to dial up some pressure here. So let's see if Coach Blevins and his coaches on the offensive side can dial something up.
Yeah, what's their counter punch here? So 3rd, the fake.
Oh,
off the head of Hartman. It's going to be 4th down, so he put it in a decent spot. A little bit of pepper on that one.
Number 13 was on the tackle there for Worthington. Logan Thompson, who we just had somebody check in for him, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Great
Perfect
job.
timing.
Great timing there. Thompson on the hit and is able to dislodge that ball. Going for it on 4th and 3. So a lot of confidence is Coach Hurst and his team. The snap, the throw is going to hit the ground, so that's going to be a turnover on downs as Worthington Christian celebrates as they should. They're going to have a very short field.
Great field position. I think Brody wanted to run it, and I think he just all of a sudden threw it out there and didn't have the full, function, which is fine. Make those things happen. But I think he had picked it up if he had just ran it probably.
Felt like he didn't get his shoulders turned towards the line of scrimmage either. So whenever you're trying to release the ball and you're facing that direction, that's where the ball is going to go. So if you're facing the sideline, it's going to go towards the sideline. So just out of the reach of the receiver goes that, which is going to be a turnover on downs, 1st down and 10. Worthington Christian with a great opportunity here to not only take the lead, but set some momentum as they go into the second quarter here deep. And the ball's off the hands of the receiver.
15, I believe. What was that?
Smolinski. We know your guy from the outside has definitely got the speed and is going to be trying to be matched by Chris Hodges on that outside edge there. So Smolinski going to the sideline for just a second as he checks out with his coach there, and then Hardings calls the play. 27 to his left is Testa. 2 receivers to the right. Actually, a third, meaning a tight end there. Over the top to Ortega. Ortega gets the catch, makes one man miss, and he comes back into play, makes 2 or 3 more people miss. Just like Coach Royal said, once he gets the ball in his hands, he can make people miss.
That was good footwork. I mean, he dipped, dived, ducked, and dodged, whatever you want to call it, you know. But one thing that I was curious about Worthington, they had a lot of good runs there with number, what was it that we had running? Number 27.
27,
yeah.
Testa.
You know, he was catching or was running the ball pretty well. I'm kind of shocked they went away from that.
Wanting more of a quick strike offense, it looks like. Oh, now they give the ball to Testa.
Fumble.
Ball's on the ground. Ball's loose, it looks like, as Dayton Christian's able to fall potentially on it. The beanbag comes out, so a change of possession is possible. It looks like Dayton Christian gets the ball, so defense, let's get excited with a turnover there. So punching the ball out goes Dayton Christian back on offense. So, you know, Coach, I'm sure knew, he had a premonition that he was going to get that turnover. That's why he went for it on 4th down.
Yeah. He knew that all along, and I think who we get there to punch that out with? I think it was
a little bit of a scrum of people there. I wasn't able to see it. So the ball does go back to Dayton Christian as it's at the 27-yard line.
Number 6 for Dayton Christian.
Number 6 for Dayton Christian is Kai Millar.
And there you go.
Good job, Kai. 2 receivers to the left, 2 receivers to the right. Brody Schmidt with Jacob Coulter back next to him. The 2 juniors side by side there. The snap plays out to Caden Shepard. He gets the catch, goes to the sideline, tries to make one person miss. He ducks down and tries to get at least an extra yard. So they're going to keep that clock moving, but I think they're going to bring that all the way down to, I'd say, 2nd and 2 is left there.
Yeah, good pitch and catch there. I think that was something that Brody Schmidt and Coach Blevins noticed after that last series.
So it looks like the far side referee is actually showing a 1st down gain, and there's some disagreement with the other side referee. So I believe they're trying to show the line, and they may call for a measurement here. It looks like it could be close on an angle, but they're going to call for a measurement, which that makes sense. If you got any question whatsoever, let's get the sticks out there and see where it's supposed to be. So it is right now 2nd and 2, potentially a little closer. Maybe it'll be 2nd and 1, or if the angle's just right, maybe it'll be a 1st down. Again, thank you for checking in. All those around, it looks like Michael Fearday from the 2021 football team checking in from the Natty. Absolutely. My hometown. So I appreciate those checking in from Cincinnati.
Which team was he a part of?
That's a great question, Mr. Fearday. We are making maybe an assumption that it's Worthington Christian.
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe, you know. But we'll see if he corrects us there. So we want everybody to check in. It doesn't matter if you're DC or WC. It doesn't matter if you graduated in 72 or just last year. We'll listen to all of you. So looks like as they reset the chains, the far side referee had it just right. So 2nd and 2 as we start back into play here. 7:43 on the clock. 15-10 is your score. Dayton Christian with their offense set. Brody Schmidt with the snap. He fakes outside. This time he wants to go a little further. Caden Shepard with defense, strong defense in his face, and that was number 17. That was Ezra Steyer. Ezra Steyer, a DB sophomore for Worthington Christian.
Yeah, he was locked up there pretty good. Solid defense, located, put his hands up. Couldn't ask for much better from number 17 there.
Stride for stride went Steyer and Shepard. A lot of S's in that sentence.
Oh, yeah.
To the right, 2 receivers. To the left, 2 receivers. To the left of Brody Schmidt is the running back. That's Coulter. He gets the ball, but he's going to be brought down by a defender quickly.
Enough for the 1st down.
It's going to be enough for the 1st down, but both Mercer and also on the play there is Steyer filling that hole real quick and bringing him down just after the line to gain. That's going to be a reset of the sticks, and it's going to be at the 38-yard line as they work from right to left on your TV screen. Aha. So the 21 team was from DC.
There you go.
Yeah.
Just want to double check.
Yeah, Adrian Sellers for DC. So awesome. Here goes the snap. Outside. Oh, almost intercepted. Number 10 making and jumping that. Like you said, that was coming. Jacob Mercer is able to get his hands on it, the 6'1 senior. Unfortunately, it falls short to the ground. Honestly, he would have either gotten at least 15 to 20 yards or maybe even scored on that one if he could hit it in stride.
Yeah, I think that's what I told was going to happen. They were going to jump it. They're going to sit somebody underneath there, and it's so quick. You got to have that pre-snap read of where they're going to be at.
3 receivers to the right, single receiver to the left is Caden Shepard. Coulter fans out left. He's got some time to run. Does Schmidt.
Ooh.
Well, he better eat that and go down. So he's going to get tackled for a loss of about 6 yards, almost 7. Schmidt goes down.
Number
Again,
64.
Just trying to do a little too much with the ball. That time, just throw it out of bounds and live for another day.
Lucas O'Neill, is that what I read there? Number 64.
64 is
sophomore.
O'Neill. Yep.
He's got some speed to him. He came off there and closed down on Brody pretty quick. But I agree with what you said. Just trying to do too much, trying to, get as much as he can. Sometimes you just gotta sit down and live to fight another day.
And I wonder if there's a conversation, even in halftime, about just the old-fashioned scramble drill. It doesn't seem like the receivers are coming back to the ball when he breaks contain there. So to the left goes the scramble. This time far. Biffle with the catch.
And the flag.
Yeah, he's definitely gonna have a flag on that one. So the defender went over his back and tried to grab him almost in mid-chest, but Braylon Biffle is able to bring that ball in and have a complete pass there. They're going to wave that flag off and just take the yardage, which I'm sure would have been the call there. So
Braden Biffle feeling it tonight.
He is. He's doing a great job with that behind the back almost catch over the top of the head of the defender, headed the other direction in the first quarter. That one matched in intensity with that catch. That's going to bring it down at the 34-yard line. So Coach Hurst does want an explanation that if you made the call, they are going to actually call it. Sorry. So it looked like they picked up one flag, and of course they did decline it, which we knew they would, but still they at least did make the call.
Mm-hmm. That's one thing I think that they'll look at halftime is, the receivers are doing a great job coming back. Brody just needs to maybe lead them a little more because that probably could have been a touchdown.
The snap. Schmidt wants this one. Gets some nice running room. Makes 2 people miss. He's got to keep his hands on the ball there. And
flag.
As he goes down, that's going to be a flag. So a successful run for almost first down yardage on first down. So we'll see what the penalty flag is for. So brought down on the play for Logan Thompson for Worthington Christian, was able to bring Brody Schmidt down along with a few of his pals, getting him down to the ground. But we'll see what the yellow hanky represents here as the ref comes over to the sideline.
Waving it off.
That off. Might have been maybe a potential face mask, but it seems like they're going to let that one go.
Where's the get back coach at? Coach Hurst is out there pretty far. Where's the get back coach at?
Come on, Taylor. Where are you at, Coach Kidd?
We need to put a leash on him. Get one of those bungee straps around their waist.
Yeah,
so if he goes too far, at least he's pulling him out there.
So we appreciate a check-in from the Stowers as well. Our 3 grandkids are new to DC this year. They have been so warmly welcomed and embraced. Praise God for y'all sharing the love of Jesus, and that's what it's all about for sure. We want to make sure that is the main thing stays the main thing,
right.
And that is the love of Jesus should be shown and modeled each and every day. We'll see what Brody Schmidt can do. He fakes the pass to the left, gets to the right. It's going to be a first down run. In fact, about 3 yards past the line to gain. So we're going to reset the chains as we're going right to left here. Looks like we got about 5 minutes left in the second quarter.
You sure that ain't the end of the game?
No, I'll tell you what. I mean, it is 7:58 at this point, and we have not made it through 2 quarters.
Oh, man. I'm not complaining, but it has felt like it's been a while
it's
for
been
some
like
reason.
a long game already. So, but that just means we got more to talk about, more time as I warm up my voice for the solo that I'm sure I'll break into here right as halftime gets started. So, Brody Schmidt, 2 receivers to his left. Looks like pressure's coming up the A gap. Gives it to Coulter. He's able to bob and weave and actually kind of go backwards a little bit, falling in reverse, getting down to looks like about 2nd and 3. Ball's going to rest at the 14-yard line.
That's one thing about Coulter is that he always falls forward. Even going backward, he's falling forward. You know.
He does. That is correct. Even when he's going backwards, he's falling forward. So 2 receivers again to the right. Coulter again to the right. This time Schmidt wants it, calls his own number. On the play is number 10. That's Mercer bringing him down. It's going to be first down for Dayton Christian. That'll make it 1st and goal from about looks like maybe the 7-8 yard line. Let's call it the 8.
I think that they're going back to that RPO. I think Brody's, he's reading that defensive end. Be curious to see if he pulls it and hits Shepard out here on the fade route. He's got a ton of room.
Snap, he's going to keep it himself again. He runs into a bevy of defenders there. It looks like on that play,
number
75. So 75 for them is Asher Gilbert, that 2-way starter. That's kind of a staple on both the offense and the defensive line, doing a nice job bringing down Schmidt immediately.
You got to give the ball here to Shepard. Look at the corner, giving him the total outside.
Yeah, he is.
Toss it up there. He's already there. It is.
Hey,
look,
called it.
Oh,
and he drops it right in his breadbasket. Touchdown, Dayton Christian.
Man.
What a nice throw, nice catch, and nice call, Tyler.
That's right.
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen it. And I think, coach has seen it. Good pitch and catch there.
Yeah, the defender, for some reason, as you said, was just opening up the outside. I think he said, I'm going to not give away the slant, which makes sense at the 5-yard line. I can see that. But even if your head's up on that, then you got a chance of maybe
man up
taking away
and jam
the
him
fade.
right off the top.
So shout out to Asa Crockett. Played with him during my 8th grade year. Glad to see him back in DC colors. Agreed. We appreciated Asa joining the football team this year. Looking forward to him also playing some basketball as Elliott gets here with the snap and the kick. And it's up. And it's good. 22-10 because of that 2-point attempt that was successful earlier in the game. 22-10 is your score. Worthington Christian with a couple turnovers that's unfortunately hurt them and resulted in points for Dayton Christian.
Yeah, and Dayton Christian having a few of their own. I think one thing that I think Worthington's going to have to get back to is their pitch and catch, and getting some good plays underneath them, trying not to give Dayton Christian the ball back before they get it coming out of the break, because if they can get up again, that's going to put a little bit of a hurting on Worthington.
Yeah, 3:08 left in the second quarter. I can't speak for the Worthington coaches. I can't help but think it's just don't give the ball back.
Right.
Just don't give it back. They're going to get it to start the second half. So at this point, just make sure that you can keep the ball for the next 3 minutes. You obviously want points, but if for some reason points don't come, just don't get it back into the hands of the DC Warriors.
Correct. I think that's just ball control right now. Get what you can. I mean, heck, you get it across the 30, put your kicker in there, and you get 3.
Yeah, for sure. And that's probably what they're going to go for. If they got 3 minutes to get down to about the 27-yard line again, they're going to kick it. So Stowers with a nice high end over end gets into the hands of the Worthington Christian Warrior.
Number
Brings
2.
it down. Number 2, that's Gabe Long, who's run the last couple back. So nice job. Catches it, gets a nice return on there that's going to take them all the way to the 34-yard line. So even though Stowers put it deep with end over end and a nice high kick, they were able to bring it back and have a nice return there.
Yeah, one thing I noticed about that gentleman is carried the ball up and tight into his chest. He was not letting it go.
So as we take a quick break because there's a timeout called by Dayton Christian, Tyler, why don't you give them a little bit of what's going on there in the beautiful city of Hillsboro, where you are the youth pastor and somewhere down the road the lead pastor for the church that you and my lovely daughter attend.
First off, I don't know how many people know where Hillsboro's at.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh,
Right
wow,
there.
I
Look
got
at that.
two of them right
Hands,
here.
yeah, I mean,
They
3 out
shot
of 5.
straight up.
3 out of 5. Yep.
You know, yeah, the
The
only
Ponderosa.
Ponderosa. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Hillsboro, Ohio, which would be about an hour 15 east from here.
East.
You know, been there now 3 years. Loving the people there. My kind of people, you know, country, good old down folk, you know. And in about a year and a half, our lead pastor, who's been there for 38 years, is retiring, and the plan is, God willing, for me and my family to become the next senior pastor of that church.
Excellent. That's the kind of people we have even on the broadcast team. We like those pastors. So nice play there by that's Murray is able to make a nice first down run. That's going to keep the clock going. Gang tackled, as you mentioned before, this time by Dayton Christian. That's going to get him down to about a 2nd and 2. So we appreciate those of you that have joined us, 513-655-7438. Again, if you want to check in, send a shout out to one of these players or coaches, maybe somebody from our DC past even, maybe some teacher that you can appreciate as an alumnus from DC, feel free to send that message in. We'll gladly put it over the air. 2x2 set for Worthington Christian. The snap puts it into the hands of Murray again. Shifty guy that he is, makes it all the way past the line to gain. He's going to move the chains and get it down to about the 47-yard line.
Yeah, I mean, I think Worthington's good game plan. Keep letting him eat. He's getting 3 or 4 yards. Like you said, I think they're just going to try to salvage this last drive to get at least 3 before that time comes.
3 receivers to the right. 22-10 is your score with 2:05 left. Single receivers up top. The snap. Nope, this time he's going to run it. First time we've seen Hardings run the ball. He goes out of bounds at the 44-yard line. That's going to move the chains again. And that's probably something that Dayton Christian didn't necessarily prepare for, as you haven't seen him run so far this game.
No, and I think that's something Worthington has seen maybe from their coaches up here, seeing Dayton Christian drop back, giving so much space that they're telling their, hey, look, you get 10 yards, just take it. Take it. Take what they're going to give you.
Especially if you can go out of bounds, salvage that last couple timeouts there. 1:52 left on the clock, so it looks like 1st and 10 from the 42. We're going left to right on your TV screen. Oh, it's big. The ball's sailing over the head of all the defenders and the receivers. You had called this earlier, Tyler. That kid has got a cannon.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he put more arc on that one. I will give him that, but that thing still was like a bullet out of a gun. I mean, this guy's just got a cannon.
He's got at least 10 yards he could take off that thing easily. So nice arm, but as they try to bring that down in there into the hands of the Worthington Christian receiver, overshot just a couple times, but he's going to keep at it. And the coaches obviously like what they see in the deep game, and they'll connect for one of those, I'm sure, if not a few, as the game goes on. So this time outside to Smolinski. He's been quiet a little bit in the second quarter, brought down almost in a first down run by Schmidt. Actually, it will be a first down run. They'll move the chains, and they're going to get immediately back up to the line of scrimmage.
Good tackle there by Brody, but good pitch and catch. Smolinski, getting that quick catch and getting that first down.
Yeah, I mean, look, he's got 7 yards easy. They're giving him 7 yards. You got to let that young man eat. Murray, nice move. Gets outside of the defenders. Yeah, he's eating himself there. He's down to the 14-yard line, and no reason to not give him the ball again if he keeps doing that. But I just think Coach Royal had said it earlier in the conversation I had with him. We're going to take what the defense gives us. We're going to take what the defense gives us. And right now, the defense is giving you 7 yards on the outside, and he's went to it a couple times this drive.
Yeah, and I think what they're doing, they're feeding off of number 33 there at the same time, letting Dayton Christian respect what they got.
Timeout, Dayton Christian. So as he wants to make a change, Coach Hirsch wants to get a different couple guys into that defensive lineup. 1:04 left as the second quarter is starting to come to an end here with just about a minute. 22-10 is your score. We appreciate everybody that's checked in. Congratulations to our incoming DC Athletic Hall of Famers, voted in last Wednesday. And I'm going to try my best here. We've got Jake Danisky. We've got Craig Walder, Kyle Abney, Josh Alexander, and the 84-85 boys state cross-country champs. Induction will be on 12/20. So 12/20. Congratulations again to all those incoming DC Athletic Hall of Famers. That's Jake Danisky, Craig Walder, Kyle Abney, Josh Alexander, and the 84-85 boys state cross-country champs. I'll tell you something about Dayton Christian a lot of people don't know. They've had a lot of success in cross-country and track for many, many years. Again, Hardings is going to run the ball again, but it's going to be just a very short game. In fact, just barely past the line of scrimmage, maybe a 2-yard gain there. So as the clock's going to keep running because of the run play, it's 50 seconds left. Hardings gets his people back into the huddle. They need to get back to the line of scrimmage quickly if they're going to get and punch this in from about the 11-yard line. Dayton Christian defense is set. He swings out wide to the left. Now, nice pass. It's a catch, but it's down to about, looks like the 4-yard line, maybe the 5. Ortega with the catch, brought down immediately, but a nice catch there. It's going to be a timeout for Worthington Christian. So as they stop the clock because the tackle happened inbounds, Worthington Christian wants to talk about it just a little bit. And with 28 seconds left, 22-10 is your score. Can Worthington Christian cross the line right before halftime gets started here and, turn the ball over to Dayton Christian to start the second half?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, if Worthington can capitalize on this this drive here, that puts – a little bit of pressure on Dayton Christian. It takes a lot. Worthington could go into the half with the momentum. So Dayton Christian's defense needs to not break here, and Worthington needs to capitalize.
Got a check in from DJ Trip Kid out of Chicago, rooting for Dayton Christian. So Chicago well represented, absolutely, in the Windy City. Here we go. Dayton Christian brings the defense back. So it was a quick conversation with Worthington. They must have, saw something they liked. They're coming back to it right here as Hardings gets the snap. Handoff is, we're going to say it's Murray until we can confirm.
Yep, that's Murray.
Yep, so Murray on the carry. Another timeout because that running play, actually they're going to call this from the official timeout.
Somebody hurt?
So it looks like a conversation by the ref crew as Coach Hurst kind of wonders what's going on. We also want to wish Coach Hurst, who is expecting his 3rd child. Honestly, I'll tell a little story to the people here that are listening. I actually had a dream a couple nights ago that I watched from up here, from the broadcast. Coach Hurst get somebody run up to him on the sideline, said a couple things to him. He ran over to the bench. He pulled his headphones off and took off. That was in my dream. And I said, Coach, was that maybe a premonition of what's going to happen on Friday night? He said, honestly, just give me about 10 hours to get through this, is saying his wife's name. And then if he can get through that, then, they'll be in good shape. But obviously he's excited about his 3rd child. And we know Annie might be listening right now. And we will make sure that if you give the call, Annie, we will get him off this field as soon as possible.
We'll get Coach Kidd down there to get him off.
Mm-hmm. Shout out to Braylon Biffle. Go Warriors, absolutely. Loving number 8. Doing a great job tonight, as many nights as Braylon Biffle. So as Dayton Christian brings their defense back onto the field. So what they wanted to talk about was a measurement. So they remeasured and put that ball back on the left-hand hash at about, I can't see from this angle, but I'm going to say that's maybe about the 3-yard line. Does that look right, Tyler?
From my point of view, yes.
Okay.
20 seconds. 20 seconds? You said 2-0, right? 20, 2-0.
So here we go. Hardings with Murray in the backfield as they reset the clock to make sure that it's where they want it to be, giving a little bit of extra time back to Worthington Christian. with 20 seconds left. 22-10 is your score. Ortega in motion. It goes to him. The catch. He's across the line, and that's Ortega for the score. So just as they planned it with 3 minutes left, they're able to hit pay dirt with about 18 seconds left. They're going to come back onto the field with the kicker. That's Miller. So that would make this a 22-17 ball game, a 5-point differential as this half comes to an end here in just a few seconds. So with 3 minutes, Worthington Christian gets all the way down the field. Like we said, gets across the end zone line and is able to score. The snap, a high snap. Hardings is able to get the ball down as he is the holder. Miller is able to kick an extra point. That is good. That's going to make it a 5-point lead for Dayton Christian as this is about to come to an end with just 14 seconds left. So they'll be able to get at least the kickoff off. So Gwen and Jean Adams, high school. This is Bruce's high school basketball coach. Loves watching right here in Miamisburg. Absolutely. So Bruce Horseman is the cameraman helping us out here and doing a good job for us, keeping the action alive. And he's sending a shout out there for the high school basketball coach. We appreciate that. So on the return here will be Hodge Jr. and Schmidt. So Brody Schmidt, number 13, number 21 for Dayton Christian. As we said, that's Chris Hodge Jr. will be your returners as Caden Shepard jogs back onto the field with Kai Millar as his counterpart along the 20-yard line.
Do you pooch it or do you let it dribble down the field?
As soon you want it to hit ground as soon as possible. So if I'm Worthington Christian, I want it to be a laser that goes right between two people in the front row, and then you just hit screen. That's all you need to do at this point. They want to get that clock moving and stop any opportunity for even flag. There's a flag on the play. So actually, there's a conversation that'll be had with the back judge. So immediately there was a flag thrown before he's able to get the kickoff. Dead ball. False start against Worthington Christian. So they're actually going to move that ball back just a little bit, which if you're Brody Schmidt, Chris Hodge Jr., that's what you want to see. No, that's what you want to see. You want to give an opportunity to get a free set of 5, it looks like here. So looks like the ref's kind of explaining what the call was about, and the kicker smiles as he jogs off the side, does the ref. As much as we appreciate being here at Harmon Field, I actually had a ref that I had to have follow me over from Dayton Christian because he thought the field was on the campus there. So sends it in the air. Hodge Jr. has to scoop that up. That is a live ball. He catches it on the hop. Let's see if he can get out of bounds. Yep, they are going to stop the clock. So we'll see if we can get at least one play off, 11 seconds, maybe 2. If you hit something quick to the outside and get out of bounds, you could probably get at least 2 plays off because if I'm not mistaken, they're out of timeouts.
Or do you just take a knee and take it into the half?
Because you're getting the ball the second half.
Yeah.
If I know Coach Blevins, he's not taking a knee. So as Dayton Christian comes out, the ball's on the 34-yard line. It'll be on the right hash. And wouldn't you know, don't I look silly? Because it looks like he is going to take a knee. Caden Shepard behind to make sure that if a ball squirts past that he's able to recover that. The snap, and it almost does take off on him. He takes a knee, and that's going to be the end of the first half. Great half for both teams. A lot of firepower showing. It's 22-17 as the last second clicks off the clock. One more shout out before the second quarter starts here. Our second half starts. Philip Vinson grandparents watching from Tulsa, Oklahoma. So we are getting quite a bit of range of people. And it looks like Vinson there is for our friends there at Worthington Christian number 52. So we're going to take a break from the broadcast side. We're going to go ahead and keep the camera on and see what happens at halftime here. We'd ask you to join us again here in just a few minutes, and we'll start a second half of play that'll be exciting, I'm certain. Thank you.
Yeah, just tell me when to go. I'll go. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a special treat for you during halftime. Not only do we have our cheerleaders out there, but their moms and dads have come out as well. Let's have a big hand for these great people.
Usually they want to start the clock.
Be kind. Be kind. Increases the temperature because it's starting to drop. It's like fall. We're doing an opening cheer.
A lot of deep voices.
All right.
Ready?
Yep.
Here it goes.
That's cool. I hope somebody's getting this on video.
Well, it's going live.
It's
Yeah.
live on YouTube.
Yeah. I can pull back out a little bit. I should.
I got to sit in this chair for a minute. My knees are
My
killing.
hips. I was bent over all that time.
Oh. I suggest in the new field that we have a special
Yes.
broadcast
Something like the
booth.
one over at Wingfield. It's got those lights underneath of the desks and you see up on
Or
top.
not
of it.
that, just chairs to sit in.
And good chairs. We need good chairs.
Oh, we need the college game day stuff.
There you
Oh, dang. The parents are dancing too.
All right.
The dads are just so awkward.
Yes.
Great.
My
If it was my daughter, I'd be embarrassing the crap out of her.
yes. Look at this guy.
Yeah.
He's riding he's riding the pony or something there.
Yeah.
That's Addison Wilcox's parents right there.
Oh.
A little fake moonwalker.
All right. Perfect.
Should have had you out there coming down the very last.
This night's still young.
Setting for another time.
Young of style.
Yeah.
Never again.
Wow.
Take the best for last. Well, no, there's one more. Did he show Katie that video?
Yeah, he said that. He was saying today and it was funny.
Ooh, hit the giddy.
Another big hand for our great cheerleaders and their wonderful, outstanding mom and dad.
We need DoorDash up here.
Yeah.
Hey,
I have the
I see-
DoorDash card.
Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for joining us after halftime now. We want to make sure that we get the action here started as soon as they are able to reset that clock at 3 minutes. They'll give them a little warm-up time here. 22-17 has been it's been a slugfest. It's actually been a fun game to watch, although it's been a little elongated, but
Right.
it has been a fun game to watch. I'm sure Dayton Christian is deciding exactly what they're making the changes there in the second half. And I just got a little note from the coach that maybe we should keep an eye on some things. So I said this to one of the parents who happens to be one of our board members just outside of the booth here. This is why the coaches make the big bucks. What's your halftime adjustments?
For Dayton Christian is, putting pressure on the quarterback, making him, because I think there at the end of the game, not the end of the game, the end of the half, he kind of got within himself. On offense, I think that you have to take what they're going to give you, and you got to be patient, because we seen there at the end of the first half that Worthington's paying attention to what some of these quick hits that they have. And I think Dayton Christian needs to make some adjustments, maybe some pump and goes, or maybe some stutter steps and slant, get them to respect what you're doing on that side of the ball. And I think for Worthington, it is let number 33 Murray eat. I mean, he was gaining a bunch of yards, and also with number 4 Ortega, get him the ball. Not saying you have to take it away, but disperse it a little more. Those guys were running hard, and they had some shots. We seen it, a couple overthrows, and I think that's also another thing that the defense of Dayton Christian is going to have to respect. They can see that this guy with a flick of his wrist can throw it 45, 50 yards with no problem.
And if you soften that box, though, that allows Murray to really start to get down the field. So it's going to be a little bit of kind of pick your poison if you're Dayton Christian. If you're the defensive staff, especially Coach Luke Hurst, who's calling the defense now, you're going to have to make them stop something and say, this is what we're going to hang our hat on. We're not going to do this. And then if they beat us with this other side of the game, then that's all we can do at that point. So just to let you know, we will be broadcasting next week. It's Thurgood Marshall here at Harmon Field. It's a home game for Dayton Christian. That'll be on 10/24. That'll be the last regular season game. And as we start to note some of the things about potential playoffs, I want to send a quick shout out here. It says, way to go, number 3, Cameron Hartman. First touchdown of the night. Number 9, Liam Hartman, freshman on special teams cheerleader. Let's see, Leilani Rimkus, awesome at the game tonight and in your faith. So I will say, I've said this on the broadcast before, watching Cameron Hartman and Liam Hartman during the summer was kind of a special thing. I have the opportunity to work out at school, and every workout afterwards, they'd grab a ball out of the cabinet. They'd go into the quad and just pass and just spend time just kind of working on their craft. We know Brody Schmidt's a junior. We know Hartman's a junior, and then that's going to give him an opportunity to, get some snaps, I'm sure, in the future. But I'm really interested to see what Liam does in the future, because I think if he continues to work at this and try just kind of, steady as you go, it'd be awesome to see him that work kind of pay off as he starts that quarterback starting role maybe here in the next couple of years.
Yeah, absolutely. It takes that time in the offseason to earn those reps and to earn that spot on a team out of season. It shows the coaches that you're willing to put the work in season and out of season, which also is in the Bible.
That's right.
That is biblical and that is scriptural.
We should be ready in season and out of season. So unfortunately, Worthington Christian probably sees their season end next week. We talked a little bit about that, the coach and I, but at 3-5, their playoff chances are a little bit low. Even with a win tonight, it's still going to come up maybe a little short there. So Dayton Christian does look like the playoffs are in their future, especially if they win this game. If they win this game, they are considered 100% in by Drew Pasteur. If you've never been on his fantastic 50 site, it's excellent. They would actually, if they win tonight, they'd most likely play Summit Country Day as their first round opponent. And at this point, unless some major changes, they would actually host that game. So a home game is not quite what it was as far as a financial boon to a school like it used to when I was coaching, where you could get ticket sales and things like that. At this point, now Kai Millar gets the ball, tries to cut across field. He's brought down by the Worthington Christian special teams back at the 25-yard line. So But, still to host a game and not have to travel, that's obviously to Dayton Christian's benefit. If they were to lose this game, Rock Hill, which I'll be honest, I'm not familiar with. Rock Hill, another small school their size of about Dayton Christian or Summit, would be their opponent potentially. One team that is also on that short list that they want to probably stay away from as long as they can is Anna, who plays up north there. And that they're not actually, I believe, in the MAC, but they play a lot of teams in the MAC.
Like
so
Marion
Local, Coldwater,
Yeah.
Versailles, Fort Recovery, all
a lot
those
of
guys.
history there.
Oh, yeah. Great small school division or league up there. Dayton Christian starting the second half. The quick pass. Hartman to Shepard. It's a little double pass, but he's not able to outrun the defenders, although he does make a couple more people miss. He's going to go down at the 42-yard line. So a big gain on that with the double pass.
Yeah, I think that's one of their bread and butter firework plays right there. We seen that a few weeks ago at Waynesville, and that one resulted in a touchdown. This one resulted in a massive gain for Dayton Christian.
So I got a little bit of love here. Says, let's get this play in real quick. As Brody Schmidt hands the ball off to Jacob Coulter, and that defense swarms him quickly. What looked like a hole was quickly covered up. 33, that's Murray making the tackle. Says Ron's Pizza is delivery WC Pizza for the bus ride. Oh, okay. Ron's Pizza is delivery for Worthington Christian for the bus ride home. Maybe you can call and they can drop one off for you too. So I like it. I like that mentality. That's a good thought there. So how about the snap going to Schmidt? This time he wants to go a little deeper. Hard throw to Caden Shepard again. Tries to make one person miss, but sure tackling, and that's Smolinski. And honestly, have we not said the term sure tackling almost the entire game? They're doing a great job.
Yeah, Worthington is not allowing the big plays to happen, allowing them to break any tackles. They're shoring it up.
So although Worthington Christian stops that, they're able to still get a first down. Line to gain is going to now be at looks like the 20-yard line. So it's going to be 1st and 10 from the 30. Two receivers to the left, two receivers to the right. Schmidt and his team on the run, and he'll run it himself up the middle. Finds a little bit of a crease, goes down at the 25-yard line.
Number 54.
So first down run gets 5 yards, and that's Gessler. We called his name a few times. Coach said, one of those guys that said, Coach, where do you need me? I'll do where you need to, go where you need me to go. They said, let's put you at inside linebacker and see if you can patrol the middle there. So Schmidt bringing his team back up to the line of scrimmage. Seems like they're moving at a little bit quicker pace for this particular drive.
Here he is.
The fade's going to be over his head. It looks like they call pass interference from two different flags. That looks like that was potentially number 14. Is that Kavion Reynolds? That is kind of matched up there on Caden Shepard. So it looks like with the laundry on the field as Caden Shepard brings the ball back to center. We'll see as the ref's going to decide on this play or this penalty and make a call here in just a second.
Yeah, I think they've noticed some things at halftime and made some adjustments. Right there before half. We'll see what the call is here.
When it's a slugfest like this, so they're going to call holding against the defense. When it's a slugfest like this, those adjustments could be the game.
Oh yeah,
that's the difference, maybe.
Yeah, they had to see the cushion that Worthington Warriors were giving Shepard there and Hartman and Crockett all game, and I think that they're starting to attack that.
Yeah, we haven't been able to call Crockett's name in the second quarter. Let's see if he gets back into the game here in the third. As Schmidt calls over motion, that's Braylon Biffle. They fake the toss to him. He's brought down pretty quickly. Asa Crockett running off his man-to-man coverage into the end zone. Looks like pretty good coverage there from Worthington Christian in the defensive backfield. That run, good for a couple yards there. It looks like about 3, almost 4, so it's going to be second. We'll call it 6.
Yeah, looking at it's funny to see Coach Blevins give the hand signals. He's got some unique ones, but they work.
Yeah, we say that it's always entertaining. He's a show on the sidelines himself. So as Brody Schmidt gets the snap, the quick catch to Caden Shepard. Nice move that time, but he's going to get tackled at the 5-yard line. He's down, even though the ball is possessed by Worthington Christian as they get up. That's Murray making the tackle there again. So it's going to be 1st and goal as the clock keeps running. An inbounds tackle is 9:10 on the clock. 22-17 is your score as Dayton Christian is on the move.
Yeah, one thing I've noticed from Brody Schmidt is the ball is snapping out of his hand. I think that's one thing that he probably got from halftime adjustments to hit his receivers quicker.
Yeah. So he's going to run it. Left side, he's got an open. Oh, brought down on the play. Nice job by number 10, and that's Mercer. We've called his name quite a few times on both sides of the ball. Able to bring down Brody Schmidt. It's going to be 2nd and goal. They'll set it up right inside or right at the 5-yard line. Dayton Christian Warriors with 3 receivers to the right, 1 receiver to the left. That's Caden Shepard. The snap goes to Jacob Coulter right up the middle. He keeps churning his legs, and he's in for the touchdown. Dayton Christian, the methodical, the quick hitters, the long pass to Caden Shepard, the hard run by Jacob Coulter. That's going to result in a first drive score for Dayton Christian, and they're going for 2. 8:49 is your time on the clock for 8:18 is what is on the clock for the game. 8:49 is what it is here in the evening as we're almost cresting the 2-hour mark, and we've just barely started the second half. So Brody Schmidt, the snap, the fade to Crockett's going to be up, and he's got it. Nice play. Nice throw and nice play. So that's a 2-point conversion. That's the second one of the night that's good. It's 30-17, and wow, that's a statement to start the second half.
Yeah, I mean, Dayton Christian come out and knocked them in the mouth the first time, and I think Worthington Christian is now on their heels. They have to get the ball. When they get the ball here, they have to be able to go down and capitalize. Not only they can't get 3, they got to get 7.
Agreed.
Because you keep kicking field goals, you're going to keep this distance the same way the whole rest of the night.
Yeah, this is one where, like you said, this could kind of make or break for them. So they need to, even if it's going to eat some clock, that's not the problem. They need to end in the end zone. And we know this quarterback, who's shown it all night, just needs to take a little bit off, and they could be dropping one in somebody's hands and then going for 6. So we'll bring out the Dayton Christian kicking crew here as Worthington Christian gets set up. Back as he has been the last couple times is Gabe Long, the senior 5'6", 160 running back and quarterback, has received the last couple kicks and done a good job returning. Looks like he'll get this one as well. Any chance that Coach Hurst has a little something drawn up for this kickoff?
Maybe a little squib kick, maybe get the ball back, maybe score again. But if I know Coach Hurst,
he lets that one soar, and that one's
going to go out of bounds.
Oh, that is out of bounds. So didn't want to see that happen, but that's going to take it down. Looks like it's going to go out of bounds. So we'll see what Worthington Christian, they have an option to re-kick, or they can take the penalty yardage. Coach Hurst looks a little upset. It looks like one of his players driven into the ground by one of the Worthington Christian players blocking. So I think there's a conversation around that with one of those players and the ref, and I think all the calmness has been realized, and now Hardings is back to take his team hopefully down the field and see if they can get a score here to get this game a little closer, as Dayton Christian's been able to extend it to a 13-point lead. 30-17 is your score as we've started the second half. On fire offensively is Dayton Christian, and let's see what Worthington Christian is going to adjust at halftime to see. Coming out here in a 2-by-2 setup, single running back is to the left of Hardings. He gets the ball to Smolinski. Little shake and bake. He goes outside. Coach Hurst helping him up on that one. We appreciate that, Coach, showing modeling good behavior there. So Smolinski starting off this second half with the first catch.
Good block by Mercer there on the receiver to not let him come up and disrupt that pass.
So it was probably a 9.5-yard run. So they're going to call that 2.5 yard. So it looks like 3 receivers to the left, single receiver to the right. We're going to switch the running back over to the right side. That is Murray, who had a very successful second quarter running the ball. The snap, a little high, but he's able to corral that back down. Ball comes out of the hands. I believe that's Smolinski, but
Good defense by Biffle there.
yeah, good defense, and he got his hands on it. Comes down a little bit short. I'm sorry, that's Mercer. That was Mercer with the attempted catch there. So it's still going to be third, and we'll say a half yard, as that's what you want to do on second down. If you feel like you can get that first down, go and take a little shot, see if you can get some extra yardage, and that didn't work out, so they'll bring it back. And if I'm guessing and reading the mind of the Worthington Christian coaching staff, you're going to see Murray probably right up the middle here. Snap. It's Murray, and it's right up the middle. Unfortunately for Dayton Christian, it's way up the middle.
Yeah.
So, that's a 5, 10, 15, 22-yard run on 3rd and a half yards. So, great play by Murray and a nice block by his offensive line.
As an old coach of mine said, that is a big enough hole to drive a semi through.
Yeah, that was a big one, and he was untouched until the about 3rd level there.
I think it shocked him a little bit because he got through and he was like,
he kind of
okay,
hesitated for a minute. Oh, I can keep running. Yeah. So, 3 on the left, 1 on the right. Switches the running back, which is long to the right-hand side. First time I've seen him in the backfield. Hardings, he gives it to Long. He's able to make one person miss that and is able to bring him down still.
Eli Queen on the tackle.
Yeah,
there.
behind the line of scrimmage. So it looks like they actually are going to say he lost a yard there. So 2nd and 11.
Who's number 24 for Dayton Christian?
24 for Dayton Christian is our friend Malachi Pooler.
He's playing D tackle.
He is.
Yeah, I mean
he's a junior, 5'11". They don't list his weight, but I would say thin. How about that?
Hey, giving all he's got.
Yeah, he's also very fast, so I'm sure that's given some trouble there on the line for him. Big long pass out of bounds this time. It goes out of bounds. It was quite over the head of Smolinski, so I think they would say that's uncatchable, although it did seem like a lot of hand contact there from the Dayton Christian side.
That was one thing I was noticing with the quarterback. You kind of got to bait the defender too. Like if you know it's going to be 50-50, at least give your receiver a shot to go after the ball to draw the pass interference calls. Because when it's 10 feet over their head out of bounds, there could have been, but the refs aren't going to call it.
Yeah, it would have if he would have hit him closer, that probably would have been a pass interference call. 3 receivers to the left, single receiver to the right as defense backs down into the flat there over the head and one-handed catch. Are they going to call that? They're going to call that out of bounds. So I believe that's Smolinski with a pretty impressive one-handed catch. Brought it down, but he was out of bounds. So that's going to bring the ball back for 4th down and 11.
You go for it.
At this point, I don't think you'd be considered chasing points. You're in 4-down territory, especially down by 13 points. So it looks like the offense is going to stay on the field, although he is the punter as well. So we'll see what they do as Hardings just sets up in a shotgun. So we'll see what he can do here. So defense getting fired up. What does Dayton Christian have? It's 4th and 11. The snap, steps back, the left-hander, the big throw. He's got him wide open. Into the end zone goes, and there's going to be a flag on the play. Yeah, Smolinski with the touchdown over top of Cam Hartman. Nice play by the quarterback. What did you say? Put a little
touch on it.
Absolutely, and he did on that one.
Yep, and there it looks like it's going to be an unnecessary roughness there probably.
Yeah, he was in the end zone very clearly, and Hartman brought him down. So that's going to be, unfortunately, added penalty yardage to the kickoff. So we'll see that in just a minute. Looks like they're setting up for the extra point attempt. The coaches decided that he's not going to chase points, and they're doing a little polecat here, it looks like. So everybody to the left except the snapper and the kicker.
I've seen this from a movie.
Yeah, I've also seen this from our days at Clinton Massey as well. So they like to run this every once in a while. Looks like the referee is talking to the head coach of Worthington Christian. Says that the touchdown is good, that there's going to be unnecessary roughness, personal foul on the defense. That's going to be assessed on the kickoff, as we stated. So looks like the entire team minus the long snapper, and now they're going to come over. Must not have liked what they saw there as they get set up to put this extra point through. Miller with your holder, Hardings. The snap, the hold, it's up.
And it's at the apartment.
It is. He easily got that one through. Yeah, plenty of leg on that one, ladies and gentlemen. So 30-24, that's exactly what they needed. They accomplished their goal, and wouldn't you know, we're back to a 6-point game.
But to call that on 4th and
11.
11.
Yeah,
Why
it's
not
nice.
call that on 2nd and 11?
I think he was maybe they're holding that one back.
Yeah.
And no matter what, Dayton Christian finds himself in a spot where they're going to have to match that score with another score. So Coach Hurst coaching up his guys there to start this kickoff return process. We appreciate those that have joined us here. You can still tell a friend. We've still got a lot of football left, considering it's 8:58 and we still are just starting pretty much the third quarter. So you can give us a call. I'm sorry, you can send us a text at 513-655-7438. Let us know where you're watching from. Maybe send a shout out to one of these players or coaches. And then pretty soon here we'll have the question of the game. We'd love to get some answers from you here. We'll send that out to you when we get a break here in the third quarter. So with the penalty yardage, they're going to kick off from the 45-yard line.
Do you try something here?
You know, I'd be me. Yes, I'm the riverboat gambler type. Yes, I'm going to go ahead and, because if anything, I'm getting it at the 35. Now he lets that one fly, and that's going to be into the end zone, which is an automatic touchback in high school. So no problems there for the kicker to clear the end zone. And Dayton Christian's going to take over here in just a moment, as they're not even able to return that play or that kick. So thank you again for joining us. If you'd like to send shout out, if you want to tell us where you're watching from, 513-655-7438 as Dayton Christian brings their offense back on the field. Brody Schmidt to lead from the quarterback position again. Caden Shepard's on your left. Braylon Biffle inside on the left for the receiver core. Asa Crockett to the right. Cam Hartman to the right. And Jacob Coulter to Brody Schmidt's right in the backfield. Little pressure, little jailhouse splits here. Feels like, it feels like he was pulling on him on that one. So it seems like the cornerbacks, and they've traded a few on Caden Shepard so far.
Mm-hmm.
That happened to be number 14. That's Kavion Reynolds. That'll be his second penalty against him for probably pass interference on that one. Yeah, that was where he was trying to obstruct the catching motion. So that would be pass interference versus holding. So that's going to be first down yardage for DC as they start this drive off on penalty yardage with their first down.
Yeah, I'll be curious to see if Worthington drops into a zone here and cheats that flat route right there.
They're doing so well with tackling.
Yeah.
You almost think, you know what? I'll give you the 5. I'll rally around. I'll tackle. I just don't want to get beat over top, and maybe that'll stop the penalties as well on these outside cornerbacks. So lots of pressure. Schmidt is flushed, tries to bring the ball across his body. That's going to be a no-go to Asa Crockett, so the ball hits the ground. That's incomplete. Going to be second down and 10.
Yeah, good defense by number 5 there. Is that Jordan Williams, sophomore DB. Locked up pretty tight with Crockett. That's a big task to ask. You know, Crockett's not a small guy by any means.
Not at all. So as I talked to Coach Royal through my time this afternoon, I just asked him, hey, Coach, what's something kind of funny? What's something kind of interesting that you'd like to tell the listeners to, whether it's your listeners or ours, as we'll watch this play here. 2x2 is your setup. Brody Schmidt, the snap, gives it to Coulter, finishes his fake. It's not going to be much there, probably about 3 yards. As Dayton Christian and the pile stops after just a couple yards to gain. And I said, give me something that, you know, the kids like to laugh at, like to have fun. He called them the Royalisms. So there's the Royalisms. He's an Air Force guy, very regimented, likes to be very succinct in his directions. And he said the kids have a pretty good time in the locker room. He overhears them on a regular basis, kind of mimicking those time constraints and having a few Royalisms. So fun times for the kids, changing that culture. The snap, and that time, nice play by –
good defense by, is that 13?
13 for them would be Logan Thompson. Logan Thompson with a nice knocking of the ball down to the ground. It's going to stop that, and it's going to be 4th and 7, it looks like, for Dayton Christian. And Hartman has changed into the offensive backfield. He's usually the punter. So if I were to guess, this will be a quick kick. But I'll tell you what, he is really close if it's going to be a quick kick.
Ooh.
Tries to get him off. So Hartman gets back there with the deceptive cadence call and is able to get offsides for a 5-yard gain. Now it's going to be close. It's not going to be first down, but it's going to be close. Now, do you change your mindset? If you were quick kicking before, now are you going for it? You're still on the 43, so it's not like, they're going to go for it, because it looks like Brody Schmidt has been able to return back to the quarterback position. Now, if I'm guessing, this is going to be just a good old-fashioned Brody Schmidt run. Heavy box right now, heavy box. Looks like Coach Blevin calls it from the sideline. 5 seconds, 4 seconds, 3 seconds, 2, and he does get the play off. This time he gets upfield and is able to just barely get the line to gain. I do think he has it, but he goes out of bounds and the clock is going to stop. That is going to be a first down run. So it looked like the same play last time, but as you stated, he should have just ran the last one. He decides to run this one.
Yeah, good call there. I think they almost got Worthington again. They were showing pressure there, and just the cool calmness of the offensive line to stay put.
Yeah, congratulations to them. They've really synced as a team on the offensive line this year. Great job. Like you said, no movement on a back-to-back try for an offsides call. So getting one, missing the second, but able to get the first down with the run. Jacob Coulter gets the handoff. Again, he breaks 2 or 3 different tackles, gets a first down run on first down. So nice job by Jacob Coulter.
Results in a DC first down.
First down run.
Number 77 had him by the jersey, and he just drug him along.
Yeah, it's just getting a little upset. Maybe a couple comments shared between players there at the last part of that play, but we'll see if all cooler heads prevail. 2-by-2 set for the DC Warriors. Worthington Christian needing to stop this after an additional first down is gained, and now they're at the 40-yard lines are the DC Warriors. The catch to Crockett.
Oh, he fumbled it.
He dropped the ball, so are they going to – no, they're going to call that is incomplete. That is incomplete, so he did not make a football move, which I would agree. He did not possess the ball and actually turn upfield. So that ball goes to the ground as an incomplete pass. It's going to be 2nd and 10.
I'll say somebody from the Worthington coaching staff got some hops. I don't know if
I
that's
saw
Coach
that.
Royal. I don't know who that is, but that dude got up.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, we're going to give credit to Coach Royal, whether it was him or not. So as Blevins from the sideline calls the play, I believe that's called the turkey gobbler, if I'm not mistaken. So that was an interesting sign. The snap, this time Brody Schmidt up the right side, stopped pretty quickly for just a couple yard gain. It's going to be 3rd and 8.
You know, I think Worthington's caught on to some of these power plays and have filled the A gaps and the B gaps and have made it a little tougher on Brody Schmidt to squeeze through those holes, which is what he does very well, getting through the middle of the field there.
So as Dayton Christian with the 2-by-2 set, Hartman on the inside, Braylon Biffle on the inside. Again, the flapping bird signal from the right side of the
You want some Lee's chicken?
sidelines. There you go. We want some pizza and chicken. So nice pass to Braylon Biffle. Yet another catch. He did step out of bounds. I saw that. Now, I was hoping they'd let that go, but he did. He stepped out of bounds. Nice catch. Seems like Braylon this week is catching more with his hands away from his body.
Not in his chest like he has.
Absolutely. Been. So a quick shout out. Worthington Christian track coach here watching in Westerville. Shout out to the 12 young men playing tonight who will also run track every spring. Coach, I hope it's 15. How about let's get you a couple more kids out there than just the 12. But congrats to them. Hopefully they have a good track season as we want the same thing for us. So wanted to send a shout out to Dominic Ortega, his cousins Carolyn River, and Ocean. The snap to Coulter. He stopped very quickly. Are watching in Florida. Thanks for the great live stream.
Number 50 for Worthington there.
50 for Worthington is Blaze Johnston, a sophomore defensive lineman. Shout out to Chad Magistro, receiver coach in the booth tonight, Gary and Sue, and I'm sure I butchered that name. Yeah,
sorry.
Yeah, Magistro. We'll go with Magistro. How about the fake? He's open, but
Ooh, Brody took a big hit.
yes, he did, and he's ginger as he gets back up. So we appreciate all those checking in. Again, if you want to, 513-655-7438. You can also get on our YouTube channel, as we've had numerous messages come across that as well. We just want to know where you're listening to, and we'll have the question of the game here in just a couple minutes. As we're 3:21, 30-24 is your score right now in the third quarter. Brody Schmidt steps back, drops, puts his feet in the ground. Caden Shepard with another reception as Caden Shepard starting this game. Now, just starting this game, Caden Shepard had 43 receptions for 615 yards, and I know just to play a game or so ago, he would have been good if in the SWBL for football. He would have been good for, I believe, 4th in the league. So definitely had, I'm not sure how many catches at this point, but
it seems like 43
in
this game alone.
It does seem like he's had quite a few. So 3 receivers to the right, 1 receiver to the left as Brody Schmidt resets his offensive line, calls the protection, looks back to the sideline, gets the play call from Coach Blevins. 2:42 left. The snap to Coulter.
Ooh,
He keeps
hard.
turning his legs. Nice job. As you said, he's not going to fall backwards. He's going to get forward on pretty much every run he's had so far. So excellent job by Jacob. It's going to be 2nd and goal.
I'm going to patent it. Even going backwards, he laying forward.
That's right. So it's going to be from the sideline again. The call comes in from Coach Blevins. 2 receivers to the right, 2 receivers to the left. Brody Schmidt, I'm going to take a wild stab and say he's going to keep this one in his hands, and he is. So he fakes one way, tries to turn up the field to the left, keeps turning his legs, but he's not going to just barely get back to the line of scrimmage. So it's going to be 3rd and goal from the 5.
You know, if I think Coach Blevins, if I'm in the mind of Coach Blevins, I'm coming back to number 5 over here because they're playing the inside leverage, taking away the slant. And you would think they would have learned giving up a touchdown before. We'll see what it comes back to today.
So it looks like 3. Nope, that's 2 to the left, 2 to the right. Middle of the field also looks open. The snap, trying to get it to Caden Shepard, but he can't get it there. It's going to go out of bounds. Felt like a face mask there because he came down on his head. Yeah, that's a little bit too much chatter from Brody Schmidt, and that's going to cost him what would have been a 4th down and goal from the 5 is going to move it back probably 15 yards.
Yeah, he's talking to the ref and jumping up and down. And that's like slamming the basketball. Slamming the basketball at a basketball game. You know,
that's good. Good description.
You're asking for it.
Yeah, Tyler, we made a 7-year-old, a 5-year-old, and a 2-year-old very happy by giving a shout out right before bedtime.
There we go. Yeah. I wish I was going to bed.
Dead ball. Unsportsmanlike conduct against Brody Schmidt. So it's going to, we're going to move that one back.
Hey, come on.
We're going to move that back. So we're going to start this up on, looks like the 17-yard line or so. So it's going to be from the left hash. 2 receivers to the right, 2 receivers to the left. So even though it's quite a bit back, it's going to be 4th down. Asa Crockett kind of holding his hands out and seeing what's the play, seeing if he can catch it from the sideline yet again. So this time it's going to be 4th and goal from about the 17. Brody Schmidt, snap, drops it into the 5. Yeah, that one's going to fall short on Caden Shepard, so it's going to be a turnover on downs. Worthington Christian did what they needed. They get a stop, even though they're going to be deep in the territory of Dayton Christian. They're going to be able to turn around and head the other way for 95 yards, trying to hit Pater.
Yeah, they they stood and they didn't break. I mean, they got some help there from the unwanted unsportsmanlike conduct penalty there. But football, you take them the way you come. Worthington needs to capitalize on this turnover.
So as Dayton Christian resets their defense, Eli Queen calling out the changes and shift on the defensive line. That's then going to be matched with a little motion there from Hardings, calling his running back out, or one of his receivers out there to the far side. Gabe Long with a call.
Ooh.
He gets the ball and he's off to the races. No one's going to catch him. 40, 30, 20, 10. Touchdown, Worthington Christian.
You know who he reminded me of? The old Boise State running back, Ashton Genty, right there.
that
He
looks
hit
good.
that hole and he took off.
He was gone. Not catching him after he made it to the third level with 49 seconds left. Right now, it's 30-30, but there's a point still left to be had by Miller, the kicker. As they set the block, Blake Miller takes his steps back. Hardings is going to get his place as the holder. The long snapper is Smolenski. The snap, the kick, and I think it went into Tuesday.
Yep.
Yep.
There's another one lost in the bushes.
Yeah.
My question is, where's number 2 been all night?
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. He returned a couple kickoffs and did a good job there, getting some good yardage. But out of that backfield, he was gone.
And one thing he had to his advantage, he's a little shorter. He hid behind the guys. He read his blocks right, and he hit the lane when the lane opened up.
Yeah, 77, Manuel Gayapong. He did a great job actually leading through that hole for Long. And once he hit, I said, once he hit that linebacker level, everybody was just turning around and chasing him at that point. So looking a little deflated is the kickoff return team for Dayton Christian. So as most of these guys kind of play both sides of the ball, they play special teams. At some point, fatigue for both teams may set in as we are getting ready to end the third quarter here in about 49 seconds. So should be able to get this kickoff return along with a couple plays for Dayton Christian. Then we'll switch sides of the field and have the question of the game to start the fourth quarter. Send your shout out, send your answers to 513-655-7438, and we will put them on air.
Let's see how Dayton Christian responds to some adversity here.
Mm-hmm. You're right.
They
had a 13-point lead that's turned now into a 1-point deficit.
Ooh.
Nice kick.
Ooh,
Hodge drops it. That's a live ball. He picks it up. He unfortunately is going to get caught by Worthington Christian all the way back at the 15-yard line. So not what they wanted to do, leaving themselves a long field there. Hodge with the ball off the hands. And
is there a flag on the field, or is that a beanbag?
Might have been a beanbag. No, they're going to. No, I think he's just calling for the ball there. No, they actually know. You're right. There was a penalty flag on the play. Illegal hands. So that's going to drop it back to now the 7. Yeah, 6 or 7 yard line. So maybe wanting to pad the stats, they decided to go ahead and have a penalty on that one so they can make it an even longer touchdown, did Dayton Christian.
Yeah, they didn't need any help on that end for sure. So they're backed up here. If I was Worthington, my ears would be pinned back.
So little change they've made on the outside. Ortega is now taking Caden Shepard. Maybe a little speed on speed there. So it'll be interesting to see how he does against Caden Shepard. The catch up in the hand, tipped at the linebacker level by number 54. That's Gessler. We've called his name quite a few times tonight. quick hands. Gessler is able to get the ball in the air, but it does fall harmlessly to the ground. So it's going to be 2nd and 10. And if you are Dayton Christian, the last thing you want here is a 3-and-out.
Well, that and Brody's got to understand that. I understand it's a quick hit slant. If he'd have half second waited to deliver that ball, that linebacker would have went right past him.
Drops his foot in the ground. Asa Crockett, sure-handed. He makes the catch, but he does actually get pushed back. They'll give him forward progress. So
Make it
he'll
a
be
3rd and 4.
Yeah, it looks like it. That'd be good. About 3rd and 4.
Maybe a long 3.
So Asa Crockett doing a good job on that outside there. Whenever you're on the right hash, you're so close to Asa, it's hard not to get the ball to him, being as sure-handed as he is. So now 3rd and 4, like we said. Coulter to the right. Looks like they're willing to go ahead and let this third quarter come to an end with the score having changed over from one side to the other. 31-30 now the lead for Worthington Christian. What a wild third quarter.
Yeah, I mean, it's the third quarter that Worthington Christian was hoping for, coming out of the break, and it's the third quarter that didn't go this way that Dayton Christian planned for it to happen.
Well, yeah, even though it started all Dayton Christian at this point in the start of the third quarter, it quickly went over to the side of the Worthington Christian Warriors and then ended the quarter with a 1-point lead. So here you go, Tyler. Are you ready?
Question
of the game. So I've seen this commercial. You've probably seen it as well. Kevin Hart and LeBron James are sitting in chairs. And Kevin Hart looks at LeBron and says, "What's the greatest touchdown of all time?" I'm going to widen that perspective a little bit. I want you to tell me the greatest sports moment in history.
Ooh.
Any sport,
Ooh.
any year, any era.
I want to start it off.
Oh, you got one immediately.
When the Team USA beat Russia.
Ooh,
and what
the
Olympics
miracle.
was it?
1980.
1980 Olympics, when the coach made a team of all college kids.
Yes.
To go and beat the team that could not be defeated. Grown men. Yes, from Russia, the Miracle on Ice.
Yes. I think that's an excellent starter.
Oh, gosh.
That's going to be hard to beat.
And I'm not even a hockey watcher.
Yeah, I'm not
but
a
I'll
hockey
watch
guy.
that thing all day long.
Starting off strong. So,
false start.
yeah, it looks like we got a little started early there. It's not going to help the cause there because it was 3rd and 4 already. So, again, if you'd like to send out your greatest sports moment in history, any sport, any era, 513-655-7438. I've got a lot of love for my Cincinnati Reds. I'm going to say back-to-back, 75, 76, Big Red Machine. Even though I was a glimmer in my mother and father's eyes at the time, I look back at that as just a great time in history, especially for Cincinnati Reds. So flag on the play. So as he tosses this one deep, Braylon Biffle through his hands, and it goes out of bounds, but we'll see what the laundry on the field is.
Down player, too.
Yeah, it looks like an injured Worthington Christian player. That's 54. We're going to stop the clock for injury, and we had mentioned him before. That's Gessler doing a great job on defense, but he's going to stay down for just a minute. Looks like he's starting to roll over there. So, again, your greatest sports moment, Bruce.
1975.
1975.
Game, I believe, 6. Carlton Fisk
Yes.
hits the home run and he
waves it. Stay in bounds. Yeah, stay in bounds. Even though that was for the team I didn't necessarily pull for, one of the greatest moments in sports history, I would agree with you. And an iconic view and video that we've seen in
Super Bowl. I think it was 32. No, Whitney Houston singing the national anthem.
Oh, okay. So even though it wasn't an actual sports play, but yeah, Whitney Houston with it's the national anthem rendition that she did, which is very well known. So we're stretching out the Worthington Christian offensive linebacker. Looks like he's got some cramps there. So again, if you want to send us your greatest sports moment, this one I knew was coming. I like this one. This would have been on my top 10. James Buster Douglas from where? Columbus, Ohio, beats Mike Tyson. I remember that. I was in junior high, and I remember coming in the next day, and our PE teacher had taped that and showed it on a good old-fashioned VHS tape, and it was
Ooh.
unbelievable. You know, you thought Mike Tyson was absolutely undefeatable,
Mhm.
and that was one that was definitely special. And again, because it's a Columbus
We
native,
got
that's
another
awesome
one
to have.
here.
Yep.
I'm a track guy. All right.
Okay, a track guy.
Usain Bolt coming out in 08 running a 9.7 100-meter dash
Yeah.
and blew Tyson Gay out, which was the fastest man on the planet till Usain Bolt come in. To see that man look like he was walking on air.
That's good.
I
That's
think
good.
that was in Rio. Was that
Yes.
Rio in 08? Yeah.
That's good.
I was thinking maybe you were going to go with either like the Edwin Moses
Oh, yeah.
when he won.
The snap, and Jacob Coulter making a whole bunch of people miss getting down to the 34-yard line. I think I've got one sort of along that lines for track. How about this? 1936 Berlin Olympics.
Oh, Jesse Owens.
Ohio State's Jesse Owens wins 4 gold medals in front of Adolf Hitler and the rest of the world.
They spent 2 weeks on the ship going over there and didn't get to train at all.
Ooh.
He was the only one that trained.
There's a good
Nobody else
movie for you to watch. It's called Race.
Yes.
It's on Netflix. It's a story of Jesse Owens, story of the 1930, how the U.S. was going to protest the Olympics because of Germany and everything.
But he said, send me over.
Well, they all voted in to go
Yeah.
to the Olympics.
So Coulter with the ball again, following his offensive lineman, but for very little gain. Oh, again, that falling forward mentality,
Yep.
able to get an extra 5 yards. So that was awesome there. How about this? Yep, absolutely. You are already matched. Yes, hockey, Miracle on Ice. Smolinski grew up a hockey player. So number 15 for Worthington Christian is a hockey guy. So that's a good one. So bring them in, 513-655-7438. Again, what is your greatest sports moment? Doesn't matter where it's from. Doesn't matter what game, what sport. We just want to know what is exciting for you to watch, and hit the replay button a few extra times. We'll send a few more out here in just a few minutes as Dayton Christian tries to slow the pace down just a little bit as they've kept it on the ground the last 3 plays. It's now 3rd and about a half yard. So we have seen this already from the Worthington Christian side, that 3rd and a half yard. And for them, that was Murray up the middle for about 25. So
Yeah,
we'll see
for
what
sure.
we got here.
See if Worthington can stand strong here.
Looks like a double A gets blitz, and that's what it was. Brody Schmidt, he absolutely does about the same thing, but this time it's for 12 yards, not for 20. But Brody Schmidt gets a good, solid first down.
He probably wasn't even born at this time, but 1987 in the Superdome, and Indiana wins it on the last second shot.
Oh, 87 Hoosiers. Yep.
Against Syracuse Orangemen.
Against Syracuse.
Douglas misses the free throw, comes down,
Goes the other way.
and hits the last second.
Let's see what a few of our viewers say. The ball goes into Jacob Coulter's hand. He's shifty and makes a couple people miss, but that gang tackling, as you've mentioned before, is what's being done by Worthington Christian, which stops that at about a 5-yard gain or maybe a little less. So we'll call that 2nd and 6.
Yeah, I think Dayton Christian here trying to run the ball, trying to take some time off. I think that's what they're kind of sticking with there.
Yeah, trying to eat some clock, and they're doing a good job up to this point. So with 9:11 left, 31-30. You don't necessarily like this from the coach perspective, but is this one of those last man with the ball wins? So snap, the fake goes to Coulter. Schmidt does a good job. Oh, it breaks into the open, but a nice tackle.
Yeah.
On the backside of that by number 2. That's Gabe Long. So he had done it from the running back position. He had done it from the defensive back position and definitely stopped a potential touchdown there and a run by Brody Schmidt. It does result in a first down at the 30-yard line, left hash. 2 receivers to the right, 2 receivers to the left. The snap, the fake. He goes outside this time.
Oh, fumble!
Oh, the fumble. Ball's on the ground.
Worthington got it.
Worthington Christian recovers the ball. We've talked about this in times past. Brody Schmidt does a good job running the ball, and he does make people miss, but he has a tendency sometimes to carry that ball a little bit outside, and he definitely likes to swim with the ball as well. So,
and they put a helmet right on it, and it went
pops out. So as we, have, this is a good old-fashioned change of possession, an error on the part of Dayton Christian. Let's see how the defense responds. Sudden change is what my coaches used to call.
bend but don't break. We got any more shout-outs?
We do. This is a good one. Hold on. We'll let this play run through here in just a second. As we go, 3 receivers to the right, single receiver to the left. Worthington Christian wanted to put some icing on the cake here as they take the snap. Quick hitter to the left. I believe that's probably Ortega, possibly, bringing him down.
Flag, hold on. Dayton Christian got the ball back, I think.
Let's see if they call that a change of possession. It doesn't. Yeah, the penalty is going to be on the receiver and the defensive back here on the closest side, on the boundary side. We're mixing it up. They immediately shook hands afterwards, so there were some apologies. Yeah, the possession goes to Dayton Christian, so it looks like there's going to be a penalty. Dead ball, personal foul against Dayton Christian. Dead ball, personal foul against Worthington Christian. So they're basically just calling it a null and void. And Dayton Christian has the ball. So, ladies and gentlemen, we said sudden change. Now we flip it on the other side. Sudden change as Caden Shepard rips the ball out of the running back's hands and is able to secure it for Dayton Christian. Now going back in are the Warriors from left to right, as time has just eluded them just a little bit of 8:24 now. With a 1-point win or 1-point lead, go the Worthington Christian Warriors on defense.
Sudden change.
Yep. And as we got just a second, how about Roy Hobbs knocked the cover off the ball in the 9th inning as the lightning storm runs in to win the pennant. I have to admit, I love that movie, and that's a good choice by the person that sent that in. We appreciate it. Let's see, here we go. 2 receivers to the right, 2 receivers to the left. Brody Schmidt gives the ball to Cam Hartman. Very short gain on that. No blocking that he was hoping for. And another flag on the play. And if I'm not mistaken, that's probably going to go against Dayton Christian. I believe there might have been a little extracurricular hands to the face by the Dayton Christian Warriors there. So we'll move them back just a little bit. Cooler heads have to prevail. As it seems like it's gotten a little bit, I won't call it chippy, but it definitely seems like there's been some conversations either during or after plays there. That means they need to calm that down, because the last thing you want to do is add
Here's
penalty
one.
yardage.
We'll go back in history. I wasn't alive for this one.
Okay.
I don't think any of us in here were. When Jackie Robinson breaks the color barrier.
Yep.
April 15th, 1947.
Yeah, that's pretty
which
special.
Changed the
Baseball forever.
history.
Yep, absolutely. That's a good one.
Might have been the first African American ever, right? In any sport at that point in time, right?
Yeah, I wouldn't. You had Jesse Owens at the Olympics.
Yeah,
was a
okay,
positive, but I know what you mean by any professional paid athlete.
Right.
Yeah. So send them in, 513-655-7438, as there's a timeout on the field. I believe that was Worthington Christian's timeout. So as Dayton Christian, having the penalty yardage walked off, is now second and about 25 at this point.
Don't be taking mine now. I got another one. I'm loaded up here. Alabama-Auburn game in 2008. The kick, the field
where he runs back the field goal
Davis
attempt,
runs it back 109 yards.
109 yards, yep. So extend if you'd like, 513-655-7438. Go ahead and send it in. We're asking for what is the greatest sports moment in history. It can be any sport, any era of time. How about 1973? Secretariat wins the Triple Crown by winning the Belmont by 31 lengths, setting a record for the 1.5 mile race. Second,
Yeah.
we're hungry.
Yeah, I'm
remember?
hungry.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of food.
I don't want to eat horse though. I mean,
Yeah.
that's terrible. No, that's honestly Secretariat is I think many would say goes down as the greatest horse race or horse to race in history. Jailbreak screen to Jacob Coulter. Nice move. Get that ball down into your breadbasket, son. It's at the 41-yard line. It's going to make what was a 25-yard need for a first down comes down to now 11. Brody Schmidt, though, when you run a screen, you take a hit. So,
Yep.
unfortunately, he took a hard one there, and he's going to be able to get back up.
He's got to come off.
Yep, I believe
He's stumbling a little bit.
they're going to make him come off the field. That means Hartman's going to go back to the quarterback position. And there's no reason to be concerned because Hartman has done a great job at the quarterback position all year long, although not called upon in the last couple games.
I'll save the best for last.
Okay.
I'm going to see if anybody takes it from me. I'll give some time.
Okay, so Brody Schmidt's going to be asked to step to the side to make sure he goes through concussion protocol. So he'll be off the field for just a little bit as Bailey Larson doing a great job as our trainer says, let's have a conversation. So Hartman, pressure looks like it's coming off the left side. Hartman with the throw.
Ooh,
out,
good
out.
ball.
Nice ball. So Caden Shepard with the catch, and he takes what was a 25-yard second and 25 and converts it now to create a first down on the 26-yard line. Excellent job in those last couple possessions by Dayton Christian.
Yeah, he was playing darts. He just hit a bullseye. He's like, no problem, coach. Bling.
Yeah, come off.
Yeah.
Come off.
I've been
the
saving
side.
this
Yeah,
all for
absolutely.
cold arm.
Doesn't matter. He threw to the actual wide side of the field
Yeah,
and
to-
everything. Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, no?
No.
So here we go. Trips right, single receiver to the left. That's Shepard, who's been hot all night. So as Cam Hartman takes the snap this time, gives it to Jacob Coulter, goes down after about a almost 5-yard run. So nice, successful run when you're getting 4 yards a pop, as he's been averaging all year at 4.4. So Jacob Coulter falling forward for a 2nd and 5 now as time keeps on slipping into the future. So 6:32 is your time on the clock with a 1-point win, 1-point lead by Worthington Christian. I'm trying to give them the win already, and the game's not even over.
The game's
so,
not even over. Don't be jinxing it now.
So 3 to the right, 1 single receiver to the left. Hartman gives it to Jacob Coulter, finishes out his fake. This time it's going to be stopped pretty quickly, barely back to the line of scrimmage. They'll give him a yard, so that's going to make it now 3rd and 4. Thank you for staying with us. I got another one here.
Oh, boy.
Okay, now we're going to start transitioning this. What's the best sports movie moment?
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll get to that play here, and we'll get to this play first, and then we'll come back to the information shared with us here. Snap, fakes it once, and back to Shepard.
Oh.
Drives his legs. It looks like they're going to stop him right before he went out of bounds. So the clock keeps ticking, but he's going to be short. It's going to be 4th and, about a half yard.
Call for a measurement.
Yep, they're going to call for a measurement. And while we have that time, then I'm going to tell you, how about not even close, the annexation of Puerto Rico.
Little Giants.
Little Giants
Yeah.
final. How about that? How about that?
That's a classic right
Fantastic.
there. Here's one.
Yeah, that is the fist pump, the Tiger Woods fist pump. Yeah.
1932 World Series, Game 3. Babe Ruth calling his shot.
Ooh, that's special. That's special.
I was there. I was just saying. Yeah.
yeah.
I seen it in person.
Yeah, you're a little younger.
Yeah. First down we got here for Dayton Christian.
Nice job, first down for Dayton Christian as they're continuing to move the ball with 5:20 on the clock, and a 1-point deficit is what they're facing right now as Dayton Christian Warriors bring their offense back onto the field. The hot hands of both Caden Shepard, Brody Schmidt, and Cam Hartman as well. Yes, I was watching that game. Yeah, absolutely. To send them into the playoffs, Jay Bruce with the home run. It was almost like that. How about Kirk Gibson coming off the bench in pain, 1988? Yeah. It's pretty special. Yep.
Well, if we're
doing the
going
same
movies,
thing.
look, Rocky knocking out Drago. I mean, come on now. I mean,
that was actually kind of special. didn't
yeah,
it?
I mean, that was. I about ran through a wall after watching that.
Yeah. So how about we've got 3 receivers to the right. We got a single receiver to the left as Brody Schmidt back in the game after he's cleared concussion
Looks
protocol.
Like we got some confusion here.
So right now it's listed as 1st and 10 as the referee comes over to just share with Coach Hurst some information. It is a 1st down, so we're going to have 1st and 10 as the clock will start on this snap. 5:20, 31-30 is your score.
Coach, if we're really going all out in the movie now, it's got to be Bobby Plump's last shot in the Hoosiers movie.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, absolutely. The snap gives it to Coulter. He runs into quite a pile of both Dayton Christian Warriors and Worthington Christian Warriors. Very slight gain there, maybe about a yard.
I mean, Jimmy Chipman played him in the movie.
Yeah.
But it was Bobby Plump that actually, because I'm from that area.
Well, how about this little Pixar, little Lightning McQueen, Chick Hicks, and Dynaco, the 3-way tie, first time in history.
Yeah. How about Barry Sanders? 2,000 yards, carried off the field with his dad on the sideline. Special moment, I'm sure that he'll
Yeah.
never forget. Brody Schmidt, the snap, he's got
Got
it.
it.
All the way across the line
Touchdown.
goes Braylon Biffle. Touchdown. Dayton Christian Warriors with 5:25 left on the clock. So what a great catch, pitch and catch, as we've said all night long. We're going for 2 as Brody Schmidt goes back onto the field. So Braylon Biffle, hands extended, catches it, gets tackled, and as he's going down, reaches across the goal line for the touchdown. I'm telling you,
Yeah.
you've called it. Braylon Biffle came to
All
play
night.
tonight.
You know, with good defense on him.
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
that was-
In his hip pocket.
Oh, yeah.
He was in his hip pocket. Yeah, nice job. So with the 2-point conversion before us, 2 receivers to the right, 2 receivers to the left, I just feel it's going to Asa Crockett. We'll see. Snap. Outside.
Pick right, there you go.
There it is, Braylon
Biffle.
Yep, nice job. That's a 2-point conversion. Good. There's been 3 of them tonight. 38, 31, 4:27 left as we're about 4:27 left to the end of this game. We're in the 4th quarter. The slugfest continues. Dayton Christian answers as they've been inspired, I'm sure, by our greatest sports moments. They want to try to create one themselves.
Yeah.
Absolutely. If
They
you
want to be wrote down in history.
That's right. If you want to send this shout out to us or let us know your greatest sports moment in history, 513-655-7438. You know what? We got another secretariat as well.
Oh, well,
Secretariat.
yeah.
We got a Babe Ruth calling shot. Okay, so there's some people that are with you.
There we
They're with
go,
you. They're
there we
with you
go,
on
there
that,
we go.
Tyler.
How about Ernie Davis, first African American to win the Heisman Trophy,
Okay.
and he played at Syracuse, replacing the all-time favorite and Jim Brown.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Jim Brown went to the draft. Ernie Davis was recruited by Ben Schwartzwalder. There's actually a good movie. It's called The Express. He got drafted by the Cleveland Browns to be paired with Jim Brown, but he did not play a snap as he had leukemia and died before the season.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. Big kick. Oh, big booming kick. The catch. 25.
Whoa,
Mercer
whoa.
on his
Uh-oh.
horse by himself, and he's going to take it all the way to the house. Mercer with the touchdown on the kickoff return, and as quick as Dayton Christian had taken the lead, they give it back.
Wow.
Touchdown, Worthington Christian. You saw the opening. He hits it. One man to beat, and he beat him. Now it looks like they're going to call the defense out.
Are they going for 2? Or
No,
they're
they're setting the kicker. So at this point, it would be a 38-38 game if they put this. Miller has been perfect all night. There'd be no reason to try something silly. Take your extra point, make it 38-38, and let's move on to the next possession. So let's see what Miller's able to do. The hold, the kick, it's up.
Oh, he missed it. Oh,
That's good.
He made it
Yeah,
good. That
he's
was
good.
close. That was close.
So as we transition back to the offense of Dayton Christian, here we go. This is going to make you. We hope Michelle is not listening to this. My wife, if she hears the 1992 Dukes Christian Leitner's buzzer beater
Oh, yeah.
to beat UK, she might
Ooh.
throw up a little bit in her
Ooh,
mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah. Every time the tournament is on, they show that
They show it.
100 times, and my wife has to relive that nightmare every single tournament. So, but that's a good one.
That is a good one.
Definitely did a good job on that one. So,
I'll go back to a fixture, a true one. 2000, Tom Brady's first Super Bowl, he comes in, beats the St. Louis Rams, beats Kurt Warner,
yeah,
and by a field
Greatest
goal.
show on turf.
Yep,
Yep.
Adam Vinatieri coming in and making the field goal.
Hey, a shout out here. Jake Mercer also runs the 100-meter and 200-meter on the WC track team, and that looked like a nice.
He looked fast in pads.
Yes, he did.
Take
He
the
did.
20 pounds off of him.
Exactly, and not having to run in those cleats.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was nice. He did a great job there. Saw the opening and honestly
He
just
hit
kicked it into another gear and had one guy to beat. Came and kind of slid down his leg, and he was able to take off from there. So a nice job. Miller will reset the ball now to the kicking tee. He takes his steps. Dayton Christian, can they match the intensity that's just been given by Worthington Christian for their kickoff return? This time it goes right into the hands of Hodge, but because his knee touches the ground,
he's down where he's at.
He is down, knee on the ground. So that means we're going to start from the 10-yard line. So not exactly the
You seen
field
that
position.
last week with a Ohio State Illinois game. The Illinois punter low snap caught it with his knee on the ground and gave the ball back to Ohio State on the 20-yard line.
Oh,
you
wow.
know, I think it's one of those things that you just get caught up in the moment and don't realize
it's
it.
a freak play.
Yeah.
So Worthington Christian's going to be happy about that exchange. So they're going to move the ball all the way back again to the 10-yard line. Worthington Christian's going to set their defense there with a tie game, 38-38. Kind of felt like this may be the way that it was going to go. So they're going to reset the chains, and we have a second while we're doing that. If you'd like to send your shout-outs, if you want to let somebody know that you appreciate them, you're listening, 501-365-7438, or your greatest sports moment as well. The snap. Stepping back is Hartman.
Oh, picked off.
Interception by Murray.
Oh, no.
Can he bring they can bring him down before he hits the goal line. Hartman goes down hard. One of the defensive linemen takes him down after the interception.
Is Schmidt out?
So let's see. Schmidt was not sure. Not sure. Nate Williams is hobbling off the field. Let's make sure he's okay. Needed on both sides of the ball. Hartman's coming out now on the defensive side. So I don't see is Schmidt in there for
I don't see Brody.
defense.
I don't see him.
Okay, here we go. Got to bow your back here, Dayton Christian. The snap gives it to Long. He's going to walk in untouched. Touchdown, Worthington Christian, 44-38 with the extra point attempt coming. So, unfortunately, that's what you gave him back. Yeah, put him deep in your, by the knee down. You start on the 10, and then the interception goes the other way.
I mentioned it a few series ago. Dayton Christian was hitting those quick hitters underneath, and all that linebacker did was step out and play zone and snuck up right underneath it.
And did a good job. He kind of corralled that with one hand and brought it back into his body. It's a very athletic play. So Miller with a point after attempt. It's up. It's blocked. Yep. So that one's blocked. And ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you, many, many times in the history of the game of football, one blocked extra point attempt has been the difference in a game. So I will say big play by whomever made it there. That could come back to haunt on the other side. So how about the GOAT, Jack Nicholas, Jack Nicholas with his 18 majors will never be overcome.
Ooh,
so
yeah,
we thought maybe Tiger but Tiger fell way
Wow.
short of that. So let's see what else we got here. A few more people send in.
1971. Chicago Bears. Brian's song.
Oh, yeah. Gail Sayers.
Yeah.
How about this? How about, what do we got?
Brian Piccolo.
Franco Harris, scoop
Ooh,
of a
scoop,
deflected
yeah.
pass and subsequent run for a winning touchdown in the 72 playoff victory against the Oakland Raiders.
I'm surprised no one Bengals fan has mentioned the Super Bowl they play 49ers or Joe Montana comes out and who's he hit? What's the tight end's name? Yeah, Clark. Yeah.
I'll tell you, this was a neat moment. I remember this. Olympic gymnastics, Carrie Strug secures the women's team gold medal, landing her second vault with 2 torn ankle ligaments, and her coach carried her to the medal stand. That was special, and you still see that come out quite a bit when the Olympics are around as well. Okay, Dayton Christian, what do you got left in the tank? A lot of two-way players. A lot of time has elapsed. We're late into this evening.
Don't go.
Okay, it's going to be a touchback, so they'll bring the ball out.
What do you do, Dayton Christian? Is Brody Schmidt back, or are
Let's
we
see.
still going to have Cam Hartman?
We'll see here what team comes back on this field, but
Looks like number 3 going in.
yeah, have we seen?
I haven't seen Brody. I don't see the trainer out there either, is he?
No, Bailey's not out there.
We're going to try to get you an update on Brody Schmidt, but he is not in the game, ladies and gentlemen. So Liam Hartman is actually taking his place at the wide receiver, and Cam is back in the offensive backfield. So it looks like it's Cam Hartman's team right now to take him down for a winning drive. That blocked extra point could be a huge part of this game. So it's Hartman with the snap. Ball in his hand, back to Shepard. Very small gain. Very small gain, so that's going to be about a 4-yard gain or so, maybe. The ball goes out to Caden Shepard. He's able to corral that in. They'll reset the yardstick there for a 2nd and 6.
He wanted to see what size shoe he was.
Yeah, an interesting tackle there. So Liam Hartman, the younger brother of Cam, the quarterback now, is on the inside receiver position. The snap. Lots of pressure. Oh, almost another interception. Lots of pressure from the Worthington Christian defensive end position. Luckily, that ball falls to the ground. Was going for Braylon Biffle, but it fell a little bit short. So it's going to be 3rd and 5, maybe 6.
Yeah, I think Worthington is now in the mindset of just
Pin your ears
back, go get them, and keep everybody in front of you.
Yeah, at this point, they know they need some yardage to chunk up here with only 3:15 left. The snap. The pass to Shepard, in and out of his hands. So it's going to be 4th and 5 or 6. And honestly, this could be your game. This could be your game right here.
And I think the coach, if I was him, would call a timeout right now and get your team boosted back up because they're all walking with their heads down.
Agreed.
I mean, you can't take them to the – you got 3 left. I don't think anybody's taking any.
I think Worthington Christian is maybe taking 1, but that's it, yeah. Braylon Biffle's switching to the inside receiver. May play into this snap. The snap to Biffle. Picks him off. Right into the hands of number 13. So excellent play by Logan Thompson. And unfortunately, that's going to spell doom for Dayton Christian. 44-38 with only 3 minutes left and the ball on the 37-yard line. So what we saw there, I'm not sure. Biffle didn't turn back for the ball. I don't know if they might have had a miscommunication on what the route was, but Thompson just sat there and let the ball come right to him as he put his knees on the ground. That's going to turn the ball over offensively to Worthington Christian. And, you know, we talked about this before, still a lot of game left. They've got to make a stop here. this does change things quite a bit for a potential playoff run for a Dayton Christian. Worthington Christian's going to come up a little short even with this if they're able to take a win here. But Dayton Christian, that's going to change the trajectory of their playoff hopes quite a bit if they're not able to corral a win here in the next 3 minutes or so. Gabe Long, who's done a great job, especially in the second half of running the ball, is able to get a few yards, 2nd and 8.
Yeah, I mean, Gabe Long has been their workhorse this second half. You know, you see him bust out the big, long 75-yarder. He scored there when they got the change of possession. He is, you know, he's coming into his own, and I think, is going to be the one that they're going to lean on here for the next 2 minutes, 3 minutes.
2x2 set. Asa Crockett trying to create pressure. Ortega makes one man miss. Still going to be brought down before he gets the line to gain. So that's going to be 3rd and 5. Dayton Christian at this point, money down, has to have it. Yeah, so Brody Schmidt has been viewed now on the sideline. He's going to sit down.
Protocol.
He's going through concussion protocol, yeah.
If you're Worthington, all you need to do is stay in bounds. You know, don't run out of bounds. Get a first down. Let Dayton Christian.
And you got 2 downs to get a first down here. So it's 3rd, we'll say a long 5, maybe 6. The snap.
Ooh.
Yeah, then that's a first down. And not only first down, that's going to be a touchdown. Gabe Long, as the nail in the proverbial coffin is put on by Gabe Long. He was able to get to that outside edge, broke contain, got down the sideline. And unfortunately, that's going to spell doom for
Asa Crockett was, I think, lined up. He went from outside to inside on a blitz.
Yeah, he was trying to create
the
pressure
tackle
there.
Didn't get back out to replace him, and just a wrong place at the right time for Worthington.
Yeah, 13-point lead at 1 point for Dayton Christian has now fallen to a 12-point deficit, 50-38, and the extra point will come here after the timeout. So an obviously deflated Dayton Christian sideline there. And although the playoff hopes aren't necessarily over at this point, it just does change quite a bit of things if they're not able to win this game. Worthington Christian doing a great job, never, ever giving up. It's that grit. I told you before, that's what the coach talked about, that's been the moniker for the entire season. It's grit, and they've obviously shown it here. So
yeah.
As we mentioned, a couple more of the sports.
I got one over here from our
what do you got?
Gentleman. He says when Daniel LaRusso uses the crane technique on Johnny Lawrence to knock him out to become the All Valley
under 18
champion.
champion. That is absolutely good. How about Wilt Chamberlain scored 100 points himself in one game? I mean, that was pretty special. One of the greatest moments in sports history. 45, this is Miller. Been perfect all night. I'm sorry, he got one block, so he did miss that one, but that one's good. So 51-38, a 13-point lead. So you're 2 scores down. So at this point, you need something big, maybe on this kickoff return. But minimally, you need something big within the first 2 or 3 plays of this offensive series, or honestly, you're just going to run out of time.
Oh, yeah. You got to have a turnover quick and be able to, and then have to turn around and score quick. Yeah, you know, it's got to be a bang, 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 not a methodical drive. You don't have the time for it.
Nope. It's got to be something special, and that's what Dayton Christian will bring here in just a second.
How about this one? I was holding on to this one. What was it? It just left my mind. I just lost it.
No.
How about I'll do a movie one here. It's a true story. Remember the Titans. Coach Herman Boone going to Alexandria, Virginia, 1971, integrated school, going undefeated, losing. I think they were national runners up that year, I believe. They won the state title and everything. It's just a very, very good movie and true story. Oh, it came back to me now. I'll wait for a minute.
So Miller with a kickoff, needing a big swing in momentum, does Dayton Christian. He's going to take a little different approach this time.
Ooh.
Still a long kick.
Ooh, let it go out. Let it go out.
No, he's got to get it.
Ooh.
That's a live ball. It drops at the 5-yard line. He's going to have plenty of tacklers in front of him. Oh, looks like a high tackle there, but they're not going to call it. So looks like he is going to go out of the bound
with a good hit.
22.
Number 58.
Taj Adiran.
TA.
There you go. TA. Our friends TA.
Yeah.
Okay, Dayton Christian, what do you got? You need something big right off the bat here. 51-38, 137 left on the clock. It's got to be quick. You need 2 scores. Hartman, unfortunately, has thrown 2 interceptions, but he's they're actually going to call a timeout. Okay. So Worthington Christian is going to call a timeout as we finish up our greatest sports moments here. 513-655-7438. For those of you that want to join us, we will be broadcasting next week against Thurgood Marshall, which will be a needed win in order to make sure that the playoffs are an option for Dayton Christian. Unfortunately, that's also going to mean a closer game is not going to be in the cards at this point. They would have had to have this win to have a home game in the playoffs. Now it's just, can they stay and hang on long enough to one of those top 12 positions?
The one, the only, the flu game.
Yes.
Michael Jordan coming in. Famous flu sneakers that are made. I can't afford them, but they're nice shoes.
Yes.
Yes, Tyler is somewhat of a sneakerhead, so he appreciates that. So the snap. Hartman. It's going to be a tunnel screen to Caden Shepard, making a couple people miss, but it'll go down at the 30-yard line. And I just, it feels like it's going to have to be something over the top in order to get a score quick enough to where there's even a shot at an onside kicks 116, because that play happened inbounds.
Clock's running.
It is. Time is not your friend, Dayton Christian. The snap. He's got looking. The time. It's got to be something big. It's got to be something big, but he's going to run it this time, and he's going to be brought down in the offensive backfield. So maybe a little miscommunication on the route running there, because he looked like he wanted to try to unload one, and everybody was within 2 yards of the line of scrimmage. So again, with a loss on this game, there's still a high likelihood that Dayton Christian will end up in the playoffs if they can win next week. But they are certainly not going to have to travel in order to play that first-round game. So conceding the defeat at this point, Dayton Christian runs the ball out in order to let time elapse, but they are going to call, I guess Dayton Christian is going to call a timeout and just give one more shot at maybe the opportunity there. Is it now 4th down? Yeah, I think it's going to be 4th down now. So calling the timeout. See what the coaches say. So again, if you're listening for our Dayton Christian Warriors, a loss here means their likely first-round opponent, if they can win next week, would be Rock Hill.
Yeah, I don't know where Rock Hill is at.
Not familiar with that one as well.
I'd say north.
Yep, they're playing people like South Point. They play Purcell Marion, Portsmouth.
Oh, they're out that way.
Boyd County, Kentucky, Oak Hill. Yeah, so they're but then they play Minford. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know where they're at, to be honest with you.
They're all over the state.
Yeah, we might look up that. Just snap to Coulter, trying to get out of bounds, which is the right thing to do, but they're going to keep it in bounds and let the time click off there. So unfortunately, going down in defeat are the Dayton Christian Warriors.
Timeout.
Oh, he did. Okay, so we'll do this one more time. So Rock Hill High School, it's not in Frisco, Texas, but it is in Ironton, Ohio. That's where we're at.
Okay.
Yep, Ironton,
They
Ohio.
travel a lot then.
They must if they are in
Ro-
Minford.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I don't.
to Purcell Marion.
Yeah, Purcell Marion would be a trek. Portsmouth's not too bad, obviously, but
Boyd County's right over the border.
Boyd
So, I
County's
mean, it's
right
not,
over the line. Yeah, so feels like there's going to be some miles put on the old bus tires in order to get to Rock Hill. If Dayton Christian can finish off Thurgood Marshall, who's going to come in potentially 1-8 or 2-7 into next week's contest, they need to finish strong and get ready for the playoffs. We'll see what Rock Hill brings to the table, which they'll probably end up hosting the Dayton Christian Warriors if they could finish next week. So they're going to give that a first down. So it's first down now and 10. This should be the last play with only 10 seconds left as Hartman snaps the ball. The pass is batted off the hands. Looks like they're going to call a penalty on number 77.
untimed down.
Yeah, personal foul against number 77. They're going to give him a 15-yard penalty. There's still 4 seconds left, so they'll be able to chuck one up here. I guess I'm just a little confused why they didn't just hit 4 streaks
Yeah.
the last 3 or 4 plays. Maybe Hartman only has a certain yardage that he can hit, and I've never seen him necessarily unload one. But this is where we're at the 50-yard line with 4 seconds left.
And this is why I'm not a coach, why I'm not down there, but I'm just still kind of confused why they didn't call a timeout on the last series when it was 4th and such, getting your team up. But that's why I'm up here, and they're down there.
There it is. So one of the greatest sports moment was told to us that Bill Bowman invented Nike shoes with a waffle iron. So how about that? So that's definitely been used in a lot of the greatest moments. Jacob Coulter going to finish this game running hard to the last blow of the horn. That's it. End of the game, 51-38. Unfortunately, going down in defeat are the Dayton Christian Warriors. Thanks for those that were able to stick with us to the end of the game. We appreciate those that pass this on to their friends as well. We should be able to broadcast next week's game against Thurgood Marshall. So until then, Matt Baker and Tyler Hodge wishing you a great rest of the week, a great weekend, and as always, go Warriors.